What's going on, traders? Welcome back. Of course, we're ready to get right into the market, and it looks like another fun day for me as I am banking here, guys, left and right, seeing the swing trades going great. The SPY ripping 556. It seems like we can't stop this euphoric market. Let's take a look at what we can find today. Where is the moves and potentially a new AI play? Don't go anywhere, traders. Got a lot for you guys today. What's going on out there, traders? Let's get to the action. A lot to take a look at this morning, and I'm looking all around to try to find the moves for you guys out there. We'll take a look at the action right now. A lot going on, but was able to take some profits this early morning in Intel. Really happy about that. We'll talk about that coming up right now. Of course, we'll take a look at the pre-market action. If you guys have any stock you guys want to take a look at, go ahead and throw it up. We'll go ahead and talk about it right now. Let's get to the action. Let's start it off here. Let me go ahead and share my screen here. Show you guys the action that I'm looking at this morning. There's a lot going on, but first one I want to talk to you guys is about Intel. And another hit on, of course, wouldn't you know it, guys, the playbook just killing it here, guys. Intel was one that I was looking for a gap fill, right? Looking for this to get back up there towards the bottom of this candle right here, which was 34.50. And you guys can see it already closing this morning. And I had to take that money and run. Can't be mad about that. Continuing the battle on the swing trade account. Actually doing really well right now and trying to keep this battle up, right? You guys see it this morning, AMD and Palantir. Intel's gone as I had 50 shares, took some yesterday off into the first bit of the move, and now up there to 35. I kind of have to take the money and run. Can't be mad about this. And this morning, AMD not looking too bad either. Getting up there towards 179. And I'm telling you guys, I'm close to just taking the money and running in AMD. It just looks so good that it could keep going towards like 185 and 190s. So I got to keep a close eye on this one. Might sell the rest of the position today, as I do think we could get a pullback to 165 at some point. I don't want to give that up. So right now we're at 177.80s. We'll see what happens towards the bell. But AMD definitely not looking bad on this swing trade. And then Palantir on the pullback. Going to look to see if this really wants to just go today, get up there towards the 29.18 and really start making the next step up in this move. This is a big resistance right above it towards that 29. And then you got the 30 breakout. I've already taken a good amount of portion off of this trade. Originally started from the 24, added to it 10 shares. So let's see if this really wants to make a nice little move, make me another, let's say 50, 60 bucks. And I'm just going to take the money and run and set up some new swings, looking for new plays, of course. But these have been doing amazing. Let's keep going with the playbook. Let's go to the next stock today. Let's go to Shopify this morning as I'm looking to see if Shopify can fill the gap. There's a big gap to fill back to 75.29. This is a key sign if the breakout over 200 could possibly happen in Amazon. And so you guys can also take a look at this stock right here. Right now, Amazon setting up for that 200 break. We were talking about that for the 190, and it's not too bad. 10 points up higher. We've gone through it multiple times. You can see it here 1, 2, 3 times. Let's see on this fourth time that we really claim that 200 and take the next step up. And on Shopify, we've talked about this gap right here. It's definitely something that I'll be watching to see what can happen with this stock, but not looking too bad already. Shopify up there to 67.40s. Really wanted to start getting into the kind of the 68 handle, going to the 70s, but it's not a bad one to watch for me and one that I definitely have on the radar today. Let's get to the next stock, guys. You don't want to miss out on the playbook. It comes out on our Twitter every single morning. You guys tuning in on Twitter, you guys get the advantage, of course, because you guys are right on the platform. Check it out every single morning. You guys will get that. I'm trying to get this out to you guys by 7:30. moving forward, 7:30, 8 a.m. the latest, so that you guys are ready for the market open, ready to come in here with a watch list. And of course, these are just strategy ideas. You guys do something similar. Create your own playbook every single day. Bring in those trades. I want to hear them. Let's keep going. Let's get to the next one. Instead of shop, why not Joby? Joby, I've been talking about this stock for a little while now. It's been setting up here. You guys have been seeing it. I've been watching this since the second pretty much and looking to see if this really wants us to make a move. Why would this one make a move? Well, I'm looking at Archer. Archer is one that's been really kind of taking off here. And you guys can see the volume that's come into Archer. It's definitely pushing strong. So looking to see if the sympathy wants to come in for Joby. And this one was moving with up, wheels up experience. And there's another one kind of Blade, right? You guys can take a look at Blade Urban Air. These have not been doing bad. So on the radar today, Joby. Will Joby get the lift? Go to 550s, maybe even potentially the kind of breaking through this resistance 560. Next layer after that would be a move up there through the 550, going up there, and could make a move here towards kind of the 625. I still think that's a little bit stretching it, but right now I definitely want to keep this one on the radar. Nice weekly chart, a lot of volume coming in just recently, a lot of wicks on the downside action of things. That could be buying pressure. A lot of wicks also up here in the 530s. So we really need a strong move towards 550 to kind of claim all this action and really give you that nice bullish engulfing look back through this resistance, right? So this resistance to 550s, kind of the level that I could see playing in today. We'll see what happens there in Joby. And all right, let's talk a little bit about a new AI play, or maybe it's an older AI play that maybe I just haven't heard of. But have you guys heard of Tempest AI? Why would I be taking a look at Tempest AI? So Tempest AI is getting the move, rather new IPO, right? It's trying to get the move, just IPO'd on the 14th. Right. So this one is something interesting because 4 major banks are initiating coverage today with buy ratings. You got Stifel, you got Needham, you got Morgan, you got TD Cohen, all coming in here and initiating coverage. Price targets at $44 to $50 with the stock currently trading at 34.90s. Could this be the next major AI play? Definitely putting it out on the radar as a lot of trades are out there and looking for AI plays. We're seeing a trend line right now that you can maybe use, maybe see if this can get back up here towards the 36, 37 spot. We'll see if that can claim back up to that. But if the ratings are at 44 and 50, well, you're talking about what? Back here above the level of that IPO high. So above this level is where the analysts see it. That's one thing to note. Very similar was out there for ARM, and then eventually ARM actually made the run. So keep your eyes on Tempest AI. I think this is one that we can all put on the radar, something to look out for. And I don't know much about Tempest. So if you guys out there, you guys know a little bit about this AI play, let me know in the chat. I haven't used it before, I'll tell you that much. All right, what's going on out there? Good morning to you guys. Shane in the house. What's up out there, man? Not looking too bad. Noli, good morning. Intel and Dell, the only ones for you. All right, not looking too bad. Nate, what's up out there, man? Getting after it. What's up with my man Peter from the competition? I gotta go ahead and hit him up, see when he can come back. Hot Spot, what's up out there? Good morning to you too. VSync also in air, looking up at up. Pulled back after the news of the Delta partnership last week. All right, well, there you go. Tim, appreciate the mentions there. Air is definitely one that could kind of get that lift. I mean, I'm going to be watching that Joby just for the setup. This is just technically for me, but this is something that I definitely want to watch as I'm seeing Archer really kind of load up, right? And of course, Archer is that Kathy Wood name, right? So we'll see if ARKK can get moving. This is another one that I'm put on the radar for you guys. Nice little setup here. Can it get back towards the 48? We'll see what happens there on ARKK. GameStop mention in the chat. Didn't expect to see a mention on GameStop, but hey, that's how it goes sometimes, guys. You never know what's going to happen. Let's keep going, guys. Let's get into our sunrise report. Of course, this is where we tell you guys everything that's going on in the market, at least the ones with catalysts, right? Stock moves out there or things to pay attention to. On today, guys, we're going to be talking a little bit about, of course, Jerome Powell. Jerome Powell will be testifying before Congress today and tomorrow. He begins with the U.S. Senate today, followed by the Republican-controlled House tomorrow. So we're going to see what happens here. Of course, the earnings are coming in here also. So keep your eyes on what's going on in the earnings space. But we'll see what happens here with Jerome Powell. Can he change up the market? The market's been on this nice little euphoric 4-day run. He could come in here and stomp on everything today as he's testifying. It's at 10 a.m. Eastern. I'll repeat it, 10 a.m., guys. We need to be alert to see what happens there. What could I expect? Well, Jerome Powell doing the same thing he's done. He's going to start saying that inflation's gone down and that it's looking great, and he's going to give himself a pat on the back. But then he's going to say, but it's not enough, and we need to continue having rates at a higher rate and keeping them there for longer periods of time. This is where I think a lot of investors right now have it twisted. There are so many investors, so many advisors. Just turn on CNBC, turn on Bloomberg. Actually, turn them off, team. But the reason why I mentioned that is you're hearing all mentions of cuts, rate cuts, rate cuts, rate cuts, rate cuts, rate cuts. And that's because, of course, the perma bulls want the continued bull market. But the real question is, when will Powell make those cuts? I think he plays the game of extreme. He waits for the market to really break. He waits for the economy to really break first. Then the market will seem to be breaking, because right now, with the SPY making these pushes towards the next layer, there's no reason for him to cut. Even if the economic data is bad, it's not showing it up in the market. It's not showing it up in the jobs numbers. And until those two things change, he's going to be on the, well, just keep the rates where they are. And we'll wait for the next president to give us ammo on what? Of course, then they can have ammo on fiscal policy and monetary policy kind of combining with potentially Trump coming in as president, right? We'll see what happens there. Let's get to the earnings action on the Sunrise reports. We'll go to Helen of Troy. So HELE getting destroyed today. Disaster stock for sure, as it's down from above 90s down to 64.97 right now. And adjusted EPS came in at 99 cents, missing the $1.59 estimate. Sales were at 416.85, missing the 446.22 million estimate. Fiscal year 25 adjusted EPS guidance lowered here, which is a really disappointing number here, coming in at $7 and $7.50 versus an $8.93 estimate. So Helen of Troy taking a big beating today. We're going to see what happens with this stock. But hey, with that estimate being so high for the fiscal year, that EPS guidance lowered, I would be looking for this to continue on the downward path. And this is not the first time we're getting household and personal products to take a major hit. And one stock that has been a major move as of late, I can start to look to see for the breakdown. Colgate-Palmolive has been hot, hot, hot. This could start to turn around with mentions like this in this space. So household and personal products, if we take a look at the top, right, you got Procter & Gamble, you got Unilever, UL, KMB. There's a lot of names here. Estée Slaughter. We'll see what happens with these, right? Will they start to make another turn? Helen of Troy down there to 64.60s. Really, I don't think I'll be trading this one today unless it breaks through the 63.49. I don't really like it as a trade, but the same thing, I'm going to be watching it. Big earnings report, big miss here. Let's move over to BP now. BP is trading lower in the pre-market here after expected Q2 impairment charges being brought up here, 1 billion to 2 billion. So definitely BP not happy here. They're warned of weak oil trading earnings and significant lower refining margins. Not what you want to hear, especially as we were just looking to see if oil wanted to make the move, right? If I look here at XLE, XLE was just starting to make the move, and now quick little sweep back down. So with this, we got to continue to watch how oil trades, but they're mentioning here of weak oil trading earnings and significantly lower refining margins. That's already enough to shake the market today. BP down there towards 34.82. We look at XOM that was just up there to 115, now back to 111.50. So this needs to change trends right now. This failed to do this kind of inverse head and shoulders. This is no longer in play. Let's go ahead and erase all, reset up here how we're seeing XOM and kind of the leader in the space, right? Of course, we could just take a look at BP, but a lot of times I'll just take a look at the leader, because if the leader's not going, a lot of times the lags are not going to make the move either. So this could be pulling back here all the way back towards 108.60. We'll see what happens at that 110 spot to see if we get maybe some kind of support. But right now, BP trading lower in the oil game and oil overall, not looking good. You can see it in the XLE, very similar to XOM, pulling back there towards that support. Let's keep going, guys. We'll take a look at some other action in the chat. I see a lot going on. I'm going to run through the Sunrise report. Then we'll get to stocks that you guys are mentioning, different trades. Let me know, team. We got a lot to talk about. And today we're going to be understanding slippage and talking about market impact. So stay tuned for that conversation. That'll be a little bit later at about 10:30. We'll talk a little bit about that. Smash the like, guys. Let's go to Nicola. Who knows Nicola, of course? NKLA. Yesterday, we were looking at this move for a pullback buy off of the kind of what we call the VWAP bounce strategy, right? That's a bounce off the VWAP. That's exactly what Nicola did yesterday. You guys can see it right here at the 10, was making a nice little drive, pulled back to the 10, finally got hot there, went right back towards that high, broke through the high, continued actually going up there towards the 11. And now, guys, trading up there towards, and you guys can see it here, 1170. And yesterday's high, getting up there almost to 12. Let's see where the high was, 1194. Pre-market, we got there to 12. So let's see if Nicola can keep going, making moves to the upside. Why is Nicola moving? Well, on reports of wholesale 72 hydrogen fuel cell trucks in North America for fiscal Q2. We'll see what happens. I think this is more of a sympathy boost from Tesla's recent performance. So we can look to see if Nicola can keep moving. Of course, yesterday I was watching kind of like Lucid for that move. And look what happened, team. It eventually did make that move, but right towards the end of the day, making a move there to 320s. We'll see what happens there in Lucid. Not going to probably be trading this, as I'm starting to see Tesla slow down the momentum a little bit. And you can see we're having a little bit of a bunch up candle. Maybe can make one more attempt to go through as the 260s. But at some point, I expect to see a quick little pullback. Where the pullbacks could go, 230s makes sense for me on Tesla. So at this point, I'm looking at Tesla maybe as a little bit of a flip, but let's keep going in the Sunrise report. Let's go to the Nano Nuclear Energy Inc. Of course, Nano Nuclear has been making big moves, but coming in today and stomping all of that, offering 630,253 shares this morning. I saw the kind of the tape and the reading. This does not look good, guys. Each of this consisting of one share of common stock and a warrant to purchase up to one half of a share. So assumed offering price is 23.80s per unit here. So hey, just to kind of mention that, I could see NNE really taking a hit right back down. So it just tried to make the move to 34, came back for a kind of a throwback look off this 28. This morning, we're already breaking through that 28. So that's going to be a layer that I'll definitely be watching for a little bit of some comeback. But this one doesn't look good, guys. It's already falling down there to 27.50s. This is going to be more of a short opportunity for me, especially if we can come back here towards 29 or even 28 seems to make sense for me. Of course, the offering price is 23.80s. So you could see it go down to that 23.80 as just a look that we're looking at. All right, we talked about this one already, but let's take a look really quickly on Tempest AI. It's at 34.50 right now. We'll look to see if it takes the next step. But they were trading higher as they announced a Pearl STSM algorithmic test receiving a proprietary laboratory analysis code from the American Medical Association. Don't know too much about this, right? But I need to look into a little bit more. But hey, anything with AI in the name right there, that gives you enough And in a world right now where we're just looking for the next AI play, and I think that that's why you're seeing certain stocks run like AMD and Intel. Well, I'll be watching Tempest today. Tempest AI. Can we get the run there to 37? Can we get up a little bit of a pullback out the gates here? Maybe coming back here towards prior resistance, becoming support. So prior resistance multiple times through that 3380s, hitting that. So somewhere between 3380s and 70s seems to make sense for me on a quick little pullback opportunity. We'll look to see what happens there in Tempest AI. Like always, team, you guys can get the Sunrise Report off of our Discord, and we're trying to get it out there for you guys on Twitter every single day so that you guys stay in the know, right? That's what I can do for you guys. I can show you guys where the moves are coming from, where the catalysts are. That's the Sunrise Report to get you guys ready for the market. Smash the like if you guys enjoy me talking about these values and giving you guys this information. That's what it's all about here, team. It's Trade the Pool. Let's stay tuned for more updates throughout the day, as of course we'll get Jerome Powell to come in, and we'll always let you guys know when we see some major moves, major catalysts that are moving some stocks. Smash the like. Let's keep going, team. Let's get back to the trading action. All right, guys, got a lot to take a look at here. We'll see what else is making a move, but definitely going to continue to watch to see what happens with this Tempest AI and different names today. Let's get back to the trading action. If you guys got small cap names and you guys want to take a look at them, throw it up in the chat. I'll definitely catch those. As you guys know, I'm not the number one in the penny stock game, but hey, that doesn't mean that I can't watch these, that I can't look for them and look to see if I can catch one of these moves. Pre-market this morning, of course, you're seeing TEM showing up there, but let's go towards some other action. Let's go to the top of the list here to take a look at SNGX this morning. Big move up there to 607. So this is probably going to be your top play this morning. Shane, you enjoying it out there? What are you looking out there, Bullseye? Let's take a look at what you guys are catching up with you guys right now. Bullseye talking about there. Nate Trader. Hey, I love to see you guys talking out there. Green in the sim on SNGX. There you go, man. I have to fund my account with more now at 311. Lost 217 yesterday. I need to paper trade today until I put 150. You know, one of the things that I can clearly see, Bullseye, that you're having issues with also is the ability to even lose. If one loss is causing you to have to put new money into the account, well, I can only say that maybe you're in the wrong platform, right? In the wrong brokerage. Got to give yourself the capital to be able to trade and continue to trade, right? I've seen you kill it on the Trade the Pool. So, or trade at least some of these smaller names and make good trades. What's going on the other brokerage side where you're having small amount of capital and not being able to trade? That could be a big negative for you as a trader, right? So, of course, you need to consider what's the best option here. But definitely take a look at Trade the Pool to try to maybe get some capital so that you can actually trade, right? Well, we'll see what happens there. All right, let's keep going, guys. Shane, how's it going, man? What's the next trade out there? I know that you're always looking at the action out there. So if you got a trade, let me know. All right, guys, let's keep going. TEM got a code that their tests can be billed properly and detailed. Hey, we'll see what else is out there. Definitely Tempest AI is going to be on the radar today. I like Rivian and Uber, says Nate Trader. Let's take a look at that one. We'll keep going through the penny names. We can go through those, but I also like to catch names that you guys like, so we can take a look at the chart. Rivian definitely being one that's been moving like Tesla. We talked about this, that this will help it, right? If Tesla stays hot, Rivian should stay hot. And the gap fill is completely filled. So I'm taking away the gap fill, right? We don't have to worry about that. That's already been done. But now we need to take a look at to see what happens with this action and what happens with the next move. Really looking at this high, this 635, to see if we can go back to that level. That's going to be a major level to get through. And you got resistance slightly above that to the left-hand side towards like 1670s. So that still leaves room for a nice little run into that move, right? We'll see what happens. It is pulling back from the kind of pushed out from the 9 EMA. You see the 200 right there too. So the moving averages are there for the cross, and you can see the 50 kind of moving really fast. Let's see if Rivian can really take lead. And if Tesla makes another move, I think Rivian can make another move. I'd be watching them both to see what happens here. All right, let's keep going, guys. Let's get to the next one. Let's go to some more of the penny names here. We could take a look at Uber too, but let me just take a quick peek at Uber. Uber trying to set up there, trying to get back up, holding the 9, but a lot of resistance above it. You can see the wicks every time that it's been going up into this spot up here towards 73s. It's failing to kind of get above that. And the major concern here is that it's kind of like a gap space that it just can't get back into. It kind of flushed down through that, kind of fighting there at the 75, which was a prior support that became resistance. So in this spot, there's a lot of resistance and overhead supply at the 73 and 74. I think you're going to take some news or something major to kind of get Uber to really get going here. But you've had about 1, 2, 3 attempts trying to get through that 73. If you can go back to that 73, maybe that's the time that you can get through it. But if you look at it here, this is technically the 4th time. And so a lot of times when I see this 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can't get through there, a lot of times I'll look for support tests, and support tests can be all the way back down here. So with that being mentioned, the risk to reward, you need to keep it tight on Uber, at least from the way I see it right now. But if it can get back up there, it makes sense right now. It just makes sense more for an kind of support pullback. At least that's what I see on the tape. All right, let's keep going, guys. My no leverage. Didn't qualify. Oh, that's not good. I have a Schwab account. Schwab account, PDT. There's a big reason why I talk about trade the pool, guys. You got to sometimes get outside of the PDT rule to try to get the best moves. All right, let's keep going, guys. We'll see what else is out there. Let's see what else, what other trades we can come up with towards the open here. Let's go to the penny names, go through some of these. Of course, we've been seeing that some of these kind of make a nice move here. Here's ION. Not really doing much move, but this is a split here, guys. Be careful out there. This thing is splitting big. It's a reverse split here, 1 for 18. Watch out there, guys. SDST, Stardust Power, guys. This thing went all the way up to 50, and it's back down to 13. Is this a SPAC trade? I got to go ahead and take a look a little bit more into this one. Don't know too much about this one. If you guys know SDST, let me know here. Taking a look at it here. Seeing combination. Yep, exactly what this is here. So another SPAC kind of giving you that lift. This one was Global Partner Acquisition Corp 2. So I shouldn't expect this to go back to 50. There has been in the past where certain of these SPACs have made this move, and it goes back to the kind of to the big move. Now, a lot of these have been making these spikes in the morning. If you guys can see here, it was on very low volume, but hey, it was still a monster move. We're talking at some point, this was up 433%. So what I'd be watching now is to see if this can hold any type of run. I'd really look for the first run to kind of even give me an attempt to see this actually move, because these have failed in the past, and especially something that I'll be on alert for. But is there potential in there? Hell yeah. I mean, that thing went to 50. RSLS. Let's take a look here. Reshape Life Sciences. And this one's a 25-cent stock, so I will put that on alert. And a lot of times these can make a little bit of run, but it's hard for these to even make it back to $1. You can see how this one made it towards 50 cents just recently and has always popped and dropped. So that's a scary thing here. The pop and the drops, definitely 25 cents seems to make sense for support. It needs to hold that 25 cents. It looks like right now we're holding in the pre-market towards 23. So maybe you give yourself a couple of cents. Let's see if this really wants to make a move. Get back up there through the 33s and then start making its room to maybe 50 cents on the day. Not too much there that I'm seeing. All right, guys, let's keep going. Let's go to another one here on the tape, WENA. This is another one pulling back from that $3. Went up there to as high as $3.27. We'll keep watching on this one. This one was a reverse split looking stock, right? I mean, this has not been good, guys. These are the type of stocks that, yeah, they make sense because they look in the pre-market like they're interesting. But when I look at the daily chart and I see patterns like this doesn't make sense for me. I got to leave this one alone. What's up with costs? How's that one doing now, guys? Back down to 920 as this one was all the way up there towards 1873. And yesterday's big mover, right? ANVS up there to 15 this morning. We'll see what happens with ANVS. It's been making some monster moves, that's for sure. Can't doubt that. It's made at least kind of like this one move, second move. This is on the third move here. But if you look at the daily chart, we're definitely starting to move towards more resistance. And this stock has made this move in the past and failed. So that's one thing that I'll definitely note is, hey, this has done this in the past, has come up a big amount, and then big takedown, especially on first day red. So you can see it here, first day red, we'll go back down to 1560s. So will today be the first day that we get a nice little red candle? It could still leave room for a run there towards, let's say, 18. So right now, I'm not just jumping in short in the pre-market here because there's still that run to 18 that could happen. But ANVS is starting to get towards the top end. And what's the top end? Another $3 to the upside, but potentially this could come back down towards $11, $10, and that's $5 on the downside. We'll see what happens. All right, let's keep going. Let's get to the other stocks here. It hasn't been a bad day at all, guys. Going to continue to watch Intel giving me a really nice gain here. So what can I do? I can look for pullbacks for day trading action. As I've already gotten a nice little push, I can look for a pullback back towards the 9 EMA, 3250s. Could also see this kind of just pulling back on the intraday action. We'll see what happens with the AMD. If that could keep moving, AMD is definitely on my radar to potentially just take this. Look, 5 shares. So many people say that you can't make money with low amount of shares. 5 shares on AMD is almost making me $100 right now, guys. 5 shares. So that just goes to show you guys that there's so many traders out there that say you need thousands of shares. That's not the truth, man. That's not the truth, especially if you're here to try to make consistent money. And $100 bill is $100 bill, man. I'll just keep paying myself. I think that's the important part there, is looking for trades like that. We'll see if they can keep making moves. Let's get towards the sector and industry outlook, guys. I see a lot of you guys tuning in. Let me know where the money is, guys. What are you guys looking at? We'll get after it. All right. Didn't ANVS have good news? Yeah, but ANVS, all I need to do is just look at the chart and see that, hey, this has done this in the past. The rips and the fails. So that tells me enough. Do I think that this is going to the moon? Is it going to go back to $100? No, man. This goes to show me these are these types of stocks that kind of pump and dump, really. Let's just be honest. I call it how I see it, guys, and you guys can always be, on the other side of things. There's nothing wrong with looking at things bullish. If I see it bearish, well, hey, maybe you got the advantage there. I'm not always 100% right. That's for certain. PAM, independent power producer. Don't know this one, but I see utilities kind of making a move lately, trying to prop up here. Right, NextEra Energy is one to kind of keep an eye out for. Duke was one that we were looking at when it was breaking that 100. It's come back to that 100, trying to hold there. We'll see if utilities make a move higher. Utilities to make a move higher, I think we need to see the rates cut. And right now, rates probably aren't going to get cut. So at least in my mentality, we'll see what happens with Jerome Powell today. Gold was recently making a move and just has pulled back. This is why I'll put it on the alert today. Of course, when you start to see everyone mention something, the stock has a tendency of pulling back. But after that, when things calm down and you get this kind of quiet day or a red day, that's when I pay attention. All right. So now at this point, you can take a look at gold, GOLD, AU is another one that I'd be making a look at. And then I just kind of watch GLD, right? See what's going on in gold, see if we can get this to move. JNUG can be another way to take a look at this. You guys can see it's already up in the pre-market. There's a bunch of gold stocks we can watch. You can watch Newmont Corporation to see if this one wants to take the next leap up. You guys can see it. It's been holding in. Nice little pullback. Could fill this gap first and then start to make the move. But I'm going to be watching some of these gold plays to see what happens with these WPM, wheat and precious metals. You can see, I think these can make the move. I got to just continue to watch to see what happens there in gold. But overall, my gold index tells me, hey, nice little kind of pullback day, inside day on the close. Now let's see if it takes the next step up. Silver, very similar. So silver is one that I'll definitely put on the radar. It's really starting to get going, and hasn't made the run that gold has made. So silver is one that I definitely would keep watch, especially like this AG. Nice looking move, smaller move, tight spread. Another big plus to AG is a tight spread. You're not getting like, a 50-cent wide spread. So you guys can keep a watch on this. MAG is another one here, but you got more of a bigger spread there on MAG. And we've actually seen a big move already happen in copper. So I'll keep watch. Oh, aluminum. That's another one to keep on watch, right? Alcoa to play catch up to CENX. So this one has been making a big move up there, CENX. We'll look to see if AA, Alcoa can play catch up and move right back up there through the trend line. I'd be looking for a move back up towards here, seeing if it can break through that. Making a run there to 45 seems to be in play. We'll see what happens there in aluminum. All right, guys, catching up out there, guys. ANVS only has 2 months of cash left. Another good mention there. My man Tim coming in with some good idea. Do you buy below VWAP? And yes, I do. And they sell into it. Yeah, definitely. So one of the things is that the VWAP, right? And this used to be one of my favorite indicators, guys. I still use it, but I can tell you right now, the kind of edge that is available off the VWAP has slowly been dying. And why is that? Because not only do the algorithms use VWAP, but now retail traders have a tendency of using VWAP also. And so when everyone uses one indicator or like one level, or maybe it's a moving average or it's a whole dollar, whenever we're all kind of trapped into one thinking, that's when things go bad for traders. That's when things don't go according to what they call logic, right? There's no logic in the market. There's no one way to trade. There's no answer 100% of the time. The truth is that if it was like that, then everyone would be making money. And that's not what the market's about. The market is a few will make a ton of money and a lot of people will lose a lot of money. So keep that in your mentality that this game isn't set up to give us the advantage. This game was set up to give them the advantages, right? And so with that being said, you have to understand where your edge is, what works for you. Is it VWAP? Some people are trading what we call VWAP reversions, right? So when the stock goes away from VWAP, they're trading it back to the VWAP. That's another strategy. Shout out to my man Kenny Glick, right? Hitthebid.com. Hey, I know so many traders, so many different strategies, guys. You have to know and really dig in deep. But the VWAP is something that I still use, but still to this day. And now I start looking for like longs and trying to get slightly underneath the VWAP because I can see the algorithms filling there and retail traders filling there. And a lot of times, what's it going to do? It's going to test that support right underneath it and then start working its way higher. So VWAP is something that I feel is slowly but surely losing edge. And why? It's because everyone's using it, right? That's the truth. All right, let's keep going, guys. We'll see what else is out there. Different views on stocks, and 100%, man. You always got to have a different view and have it on your eyes, right? I kill it in paper, but not live. And why do you think this is, Bullseye? Are you trading different? Are you making different types of trades? If it's the same trade, then maybe we need to think about what's going on here, right? There should be, is it one thing I always ask myself, right? And you can do this also, traders, is ask yourself, did I make an error? And where did I make the error? Is it an error on my emotions? Is it an error on execution? Or is it just straight up the system doesn't work? Because if it's this third one, then you got to reset completely and try to find what works. If it's the second one where you're just executing your strategy bad, well, that's something that we need to work on, right? That's just something that we need to get better on. And if it's the first one where it's just emotions, well, then we need to work on our psychology and maybe trade really small. This is why I've talked about in the past that as when traders first start trading, I actually believe in one share trading. One share trading just teaches you how to start being successful every day and not worried about the money so much. And that's what majority of traders that have emotional issues, that's what it comes down to, really, is that the money matters so much to you that you're driving your analysis like to the next level, and you're going into this analysis paralysis because you're just thinking way too much about the position. Trust me, I've been there too, man, and it's just not going to help us. All right, let's go looking around, team. We'll see what else is making a trade today. Let's take a look there to see what's making a move this morning in the Qs, what can set up there. Of course, Apple's just been hot, 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 man. It's up there to 228s now and continuing to move. Will Google get to 200? I'll keep that on the radar. Amazon, we've talked about Shop. We've talked about, of course, Tempest. We've talked about Joby. Will these stocks make the move today? Guys, let me know. What's your top play? We'll take a look at it. All right, guys, it's 9:15. Getting ready for the open here. We can take a look also at some other trading action. Let's go to the gainers, losers list. Let's bring this in, of course. You guys can be using this also right there on Trade the Pool. You just go to your tools. You go to gainers and losers. A lot of times I'll separate it here by different ones. You guys can go ahead and do the same. Seeing there, Peggy show up there. Pineapple Energy getting a little lift today. We'll see what happens here, guys. So many solar plays have been trying to make the move, but we haven't really gotten the breakout. And with energy going down, that doesn't make me feel confident about the solar play. But hey, Peggy trying to get the lift right now. Pre-market high of 260. The $2 area seemed to make sense. I'm sure I wasn't the only one watching it. And you can see it here. As soon as it starts to cut $2, what happens? Volume starts to increase. So somewhere in this area, I feel like you're getting buyers to step up here between the $2 and the 180 takedown here. And just recently, as it started to pop back through $2, for the traders that waited to wait this out and looking for a $2 recovery and pullback, now you're getting the volume. So yeah, definitely for me, they're playing off that $2. We'll see if this starts to make its way back here towards the 250. First spot for me to kind of take a look at this, you could run into a trend line and then kind of reload. That's one thing to kind of note. So that's this line right here going towards 211, 212s, and then pulling back a little bit. We'll see what happens there in Peggy. Zappy Zap. What's up with Zap, guys? It got up there towards $14 yesterday, getting hot towards the end of the day, guys. 235. It woke up, and boy, did it wake up. When stocks don't want to go down and are making big moves, that's something to note. That's something to tell you that, hey, there's still somebody defending this. And do I feel Zap should be at $12? By no means necessary. No means necessary. The fundamentals definitely don't point to it. But like we've mentioned with auto manufacturers, this is more of a sympathy run, and we could see it turn around. A big level to watch for me is going to be looking at Tesla turns around, right? Tesla turns around, this whole party could come shutting down. So whether you're looking at Rivian, whether you're looking at Zap, whether you're looking at a different name to maybe start getting going like Mullen or something like that. Well, the truth is any auto manufacturer is in play right now, especially with the way that you're seeing these stocks move. All right, let's keep going, guys. What other ones are out there? Nike for a 20-year hold. Oh, yes, right now. Zap got me yesterday. Yeah, it's hard. No emotions with paper. Yeah, I agree. I agree that there's no emotions with paper. But the truth is there is some emotions. You just got to be kind of attached to it. Right? I think that the truth is that it's how you play it really that matters. But hey, it's all things that you can take a look at, right? I had about 300 shares of Zap before it made the move. Yeah, that's how it happens, guys. I had about 18 left before it hit my 350 minimum. Yeah, it got a dip in Zap after the flush, then got auto liquidated. Yeah, so things like this, right? Not giving yourself enough room, maybe going too big in sizing. Things like this is what could affect you, right? And that's what could affect you on Zap, right? If you gave yourself yesterday and you're giving yourself room on this stock, right? The stock was trading between the $7 and kind of the $6 spot. So it only really moved about $1. In this case, right? What could we have used? Well, we could have used like ATR, right? I think I have the ATR right here. There it is. ATR is right there. So ATR on the hourly is what I kind of like to use for like bigger trades and to make sure that I'm understanding the risk. You can see the ATR was about $1 there. So a lot of times some traders, swing traders especially, will actually risk 2 times the ATR. So that means I got to risk up to $2 on this name. That's a lot of risk on this name, right? So maybe you're moving shorter into the time frame, watching the average true range right around that level is trading about 75 cents on the 15-minute for the average true range. So maybe I'm giving myself $1.50, or maybe it's just the 75 cents. But at least that's going to give me the room to understand that I'm getting outside of the standard volatility, and that's the average true range. You guys see it right here, or the ATR. Some people refer to it, right? That's just the acronym. Check it out, guys. All right. Yeah. Sizing is off and it happens, Bullseye. It's something that we can learn from. It happens to me all the time. You'll see me catch myself here where I'm like, man, the sizing on this trade doesn't make sense compared to the sizing on another trade that can really run. Like Google yesterday, I cut it short, but it would kept running, right? And so you got to understand how stocks make that move and which stock could really get the big breakout. All right, guys, looking at it, Intel, let's go back to that. That's up there to 35s. I'm just happy I took the profit and ran this morning. It hit right at the 4 a.m. As soon as it opened, it said, yeah, I'll take the money and run. 35 was the level that I was watching, and it hit it pretty quickly. All right, guys, we'll see Wolf showing up here. Capital Markets name, it's looking like it's trying to get through the $6. This is a little bit better of a name, right? So we see a lot of the pump and dumps like ANVS, but look at this stock. This stock's been holding the 9 EMA, trying to continue going, and could have a breakthrough 6. Now, of course, could this stock run as much as an ANVS? Probably not, but not a bad one to keep watch. All right, guys, it's 9:21 in a second here. When we get to 9:25, I want to be a little bit more focused on specific trades. This is where I feel like I'm doing a little bit of disservice to myself, not to you guys, because, of course, I always like to look at all the stocks, everything out there, try to show you guys what's moving, what's not moving in the markets, yet still focusing on my trades, right? Which is very difficult. I don't recommend that to anybody out there, especially if you're looking for great success, right? But I think at this point, we need to continue to kind of work my way that I can still look at my names and still at the same time tell you guys what's moving. That's what it's all about. At the end of the day, I'm here for you guys. Smash the like. Let's keep going, guys. Let's take a look at Mara yesterday with a big takedown. So could have been able to hold this one through the 20. I actually took a lot of profits through that 20. And this actually went down all the way to 1928. And I think this was the perfect example of now you could wash them out, right? You could bounce back to the 9 EMA, which is the 2024 level. So I'm not leaving that out of room, where you come back here towards this kind of 2030 area. So you come back up into this spot and then you see the fade in Mara. So for right now, I'll be watching that. Clean Spark was the better move yesterday, I felt, because you got the VWAP fade where this came back to 1522s. Went up into the 1580s and right back down to the 1522s. One of my favorite strategies is that is shorting off of the VWAP layer here and looking at the next layer as the resistance to 16. You could risk somewhere in between that for the move back down towards the low of the day. Today, I'd be looking for a push towards 16 and then the fade off of that back towards 1522. Keep watch to see what happens in Bitcoin pricing. If Bitcoin gets back above 60,000, this stock starts to push towards the upside. But if we make a move back there towards like 54, where it was on Friday, that's where you got to be careful. Move back in, let's say, under 50,000 for the week on Bitcoin. Yeah, these stocks start to get crushed. HUT kept going to the upside yesterday, guys. I took a loss on this one yesterday on the day trade side of things, and we'll see what happens on it today. I really don't understand how it's going towards these levels, yet Bitcoin is coming down. But hey, that just goes to show me that maybe I don't have the upper hand on HUT. And when you are fighting a stock, and it just doesn't want to come down, well, you leave that stock alone and you let it go. Right? It can keep going up, but a lot of times if I reverse and start going positive on it, that's the day that they take it down. We'll see what happens. Definitely resistance to the left-hand side, right around this 1842 on the high end of this. So keep that in mind. That's something that I'd keep on watch. That 1842s maybe comes into play and we finally get the blow off top. We'll see what happens there in HUT. All right, guys, what's going on, guys? Mitch, my brain couldn't handle what you're doing. Thanks for the daily feedback. Yeah, Peaceful Verse. I wish you the best on your day 2, right? Good trades yesterday. Like always, let's just keep it simple. Risk to return, where the high quality plays. I don't need to play everything under the sun. I want to be playing names that I understand the daily chart, maybe understand some catalysts and why people would be looking at that, keeping the psychology in play, right? And the biggest thing is understanding that, especially when you're doing these evaluation accounts, you're looking to probably not take 60, 80 trades, right? You're looking to probably make 30 trades and get that evaluation underneath your belt. Then you can worry about taking more and more trades when you actually have the account, right? So for right now, keep getting after it, man. Stay focused. Be like the sniper, not like the play underneath the sun. Just, oh, this stock's moving along this. I'll short this. I'm going to do this strategy here, this strategy there. Remember, as a newer trader or someone that's trying to find success, the more that you can hone yourself in, probably the better the results will be. Let me know how it goes today, Peaceful. Have a good one, man. All right. How long have you guys been trading? Me, 4 years. Well, I can tell you guys, me, a little bit longer, not too much longer, since pretty much 2018. That's really when I kind of started to get really into trading. You can say maybe 2016 because I was learning this at school, right? I went to school for finance. And I can tell you right now, I can pull like 10 books from school that I can burn them on screen, because the truth is, it don't make sense when you actually go into the trading space. I can tell you guys, I took even complicated derivatives courses, right? For like options tradings and really understanding how the Greeks work. Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't seen the edge there either. I like equity trading. I like keeping towards the swing, really. Swing is where I'm at, guys. This is what my bread and butter is. You guys have seen me take plenty of swing trades into the green already right here on this show. And I'm going to continue doing that. If anything, want to get bigger and bigger in the swing trading. So I'm going to still be rocking this account. But as I keep going, I'm going to look for the bigger swing trading account. I'm going to look to keep taking bigger and bigger swing trades. I want more capital, access to capital. And that's what Trade the Pool is all about. And I want to keep taking trades that make sense for me. All right, let's keep going, guys. Let's see what else is out there. Juan, what up out there, man? It's good to see you, Juan. I love to see some guys on Facebook. That's the first one I actually seen comment this today. Hit the like button, guys. It's good to see you guys out there. All right, let's keep going, guys. It's almost towards the bell here. It's 9:27. We're almost towards the bell. We got a couple minutes left here. Going to continue to watch, but now got to kind of hone in, right? Where are the trades that make sense this morning? Intel just ripping, guys. Intel's hot, man. Maybe I should have kept a little piece, but I'm not going to be worried about that. I'm just going to look for pullbacks to kind of get back into the name. But look at Intel start to go. AMD up there towards almost 180. This is going to be a big level for me to watch today. I don't want to see AMD kind of just tank on me, guys. I've already made an insane amount of money on this trade, so I don't want to push too much into this. Let's take a look at where I'm at right now on the daily. Look at this, guys. Look where I'm at, right? I mean, I'm ways away from here, but at the same time, I got to be careful, right? If I look back here, let's go ahead. Let's go back to like about a year, and let's scroll back here. Let's go to the auto here so you guys can see it. And you guys can see where we're at, right? We're starting to get back here towards resistance. And I think that that's where I get a little bit concerned towards the profits, right? And I don't have to be so picky at this point because I have a low share size. So even $1 is only $5 here. So you get to a point where you're like, okay, well, I got to take some gains at some point, right? Could this stock go to 200, 220 and keep going? Yes, it could. But at some point, enough is enough, right? So let's see what happens here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start pulling my stop loss up. So you can see I actually have it slightly in the red to kind of just get away. But look where my entry is. My entry is way down here. It's near the support. This is usually when I have a tendency of just saying, okay, Mitch, maybe just take some off and continue to hold the smallest amount. But what's the difference? The difference is I make what? Even if I keep this whole 5 shares, we're talking about another 20 times 5, another $100 maybe on the high end. That's not going to be enough for me. What's going to be more important for me is securing the win. So at this point, I can go ahead and start raising my stop up towards daily lows, right? So For right now, I can move this up towards around 172, or I can just take the money and run. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually put this back towards 50, just as a careful kind of pullback look. And I'm going to look to take the 100 look, right? So a breakout today, starting to get through there. And I'm going to just take the 100. Let's take maybe like 108 and just take the money and run. That's what I want to do today, guys. I want to get it back to pre-market high, somewhere around there, and take the money and run. I don't mind the 179.50s or getting back there towards the 180s. If it gets through the 180, so be it. I'll take the money and run today. Let's find out what happens in AMD. All right, guys, let's go back to it. The market's getting opened here. Time to switch over and get ready to nail some trades here. Big thing to watch are these smaller names at first. We'll see what happens there. Chewy getting an alert to the downside there, so that's not a good outlook there. We'll see if Chewy bounces back on the day. 24, big support there. We'll see if that one makes a move here. Tesla with a nice little lift at the gates there. Looking around, Hut with a nice little move there. Look at Google go, guys. Is Google going for the 200 today? Nice little push out the gates there for Google. Amazon, nice push there towards 200. Will that hold 200 today? Shop in play, right? And then, of course, TEM, T-E-M. That's going to be one that I'll be watching. Tempest AI, of course, got a lot of analyst ratings today, so it could be on a lot of people's radar today. We'll see what happens there on TEM. Let's keep it going, team. Let's see what else is out there. What else is making a trade here? All right, guys. SNGX up there to the $7, kind of topping out for right now. We'll look to see if it gets through that 7, but it's already made a lot of moves. It made 1, 2, 3. I could look for maybe one more attempt towards the upside and then seeing this fail. So run to 7 and then failing on SNGX. That's just the way I see it, guys. Maybe I got it wrong here. Stardust Power down here out the gates there. Not really getting the move there, so be careful out there on that one. And then, of course, ANVS pushing up there to 1575. Spread is wide on this one, guys. But look at the spread on that. That is very difficult. The spread just went 70 cents, guys. Look at this. 1574 by 1520s. That just scares the living hell out of me on ANVS. I'm staying the hell away from that stock. What the hell? 70 cents there? That's a little bit too wide there for me. All right, guys, let's keep taking a look, guys. You guys let me know what stocks you guys see moving out there. I see Biddy. Biddy has pulled back towards the 870s. I've been looking to see when this one would actually make the next step up here. It's pulled back a pretty good amount. Now it can start making the move towards 9. And, of course, we're talking about a smaller name here. There's AMD. There's the cash. Sell the register. Sound the register there. Not a bad little game there. I just took the profits there in AMD, right back closer towards the pre-market high. Nice little spike there to 179. I will take that money and run any day of the week. Can't be mad about that, guys. So, hey, starting the day up right. Let's keep it going, team. You guys know what you want. Trade the pool, guys. Smash the like, hit the bell, and I'll take that money bag with me. Let's go. Ugh. That was a big one from AMD. Thank you, AMD. I will see you back next time, AMD. Good profits there. Not mad at all. Let's keep it going, team. Palantir, the only swing trade I have on now, guys, so I can look for some more trades. Look at Palantir go into the 28s. Exactly what I'm looking for. The hourly to kind of hold right here. Nice trend now, right? Let's see this start to hold there, make the move back above and hold pullbacks towards 2790s right now on Palantir. Getting that pullback right now, that attempt. Let's see if it holds there. All right, looking around to see what else is making a move there today. GME with a little bit of a lift, so watch out, guys. Q's going higher there, now starting to push. And look at Hut, guys. Hut just went to the 18, rejected fast off that 18. So that's one thing that I'll be taking a look at today. I know that I've been caught in the Hut before. We'll see if this starts to break down or not. Mara, big cut there towards the 1950s. Got up there to 1985s, not in the 20s, and took a hit to the downside. Clean spark straight down out the gates here. Let's see how Hut performs off of that, but definitely taking a big hit. All right, we'll see what happens on this one. Will it finally just blow off top here? That's one thing that I'm definitely looking at. Can it get back here towards yesterday's high now? 1768. It could reject that and then take a hit here. So you see the 1768 right above it here. Let's see if it touches it one more time and then takes the hit right back towards 1750s. AMD into the 180s, and there's your Tesla moment for AMD. I talked about it. Would we get a Tesla moment? There's the Tesla moment. It's already kind of pushing, really pushing up there towards the highs. Not a bad move at all. Tesla actually going up there too today. Well, 254, big spike there. That could actually help Zap. We'll see what happens there in Zap. But looking around, team, Lucid, nothing that I want to look at there. Intel trying to hold the 35, so I could take a look at the day trade action on Intel, especially with AMD ripping to the upside. Doesn't look too bad. The only thing with Intel is it's already moved a pretty significant amount in the pre-market. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and bring this down, expand the gainers and losers list. Let's take a look here to see what else we're seeing in the market. SNGX already down there to $6. Did do that 7 spike and chapow right to it, guys. 7 and fails right on it, guys. So at this point, I'd be looking for pullbacks towards $6.40s, $6, somewhere in between there. I can start getting short on SNGX. Doesn't look too bad. It just needs to come back here for me. VWAP is actually below it. That's interesting. So let's see if I can get a move back here to 630s, 640s, and then I don't mind getting short on SNGX. See if this can come back a little bit here, guys. Take a nice little short. Archer on the alert here for Joby. Let's see what happens with that. It's on the pullback right now. Let's see if it can recover the 450s. Zap trying to hold the 13s right now and make that next step up. Of course, with Tesla doing well, I wouldn't be fighting this one. And Longevron getting a spike there today. Interesting name for sure to see it make a move. QURE. All right, not looking too bad. MWD. This is one that I started seeing moving. This one I've seen move before. This is the biotech here, but not my favorite. Let's take a look at the sectors overall. Consumer cyclical, technology in the green. Everything else red here. Energy taking a real hit there. How's the solar name? Solar is slightly up, nothing big. Computer systems doing well. So that means Dell, not looking too bad there. SMCI, guys, we talked about that one yesterday. Put it on the playbook. It's already hot, guys. I'm looking for pullbacks on that to play. It's up there now to 920s this morning to 925, when just yesterday it was trading a pretty good down there, man. It was like 880s, now almost in the 920s there. SMCI is one definitely to keep on the alert. NTAP starting to continue pushing. This is just continuing the climb. All right, let's get back to the day trading side of things. Palantir not looking too bad there as that's continuing to the upside. 2823s. We just talked about a pullback potential towards 2790s. And look, right back here towards the 90s and holding well. Palantir, go Palantir. Let's get it, man. Not looking too bad in Palantir, that's for sure. All right, SMR did get, where's the other one? SMR did have some negative news. I forgot what it was right quick, but hey, you can see it. It's already getting hit hard there. NNE, how's that one doing here? All right, guys, it did climb a little bit in the pre-market. 28 rejection once and twice. Let's see if it does a third time towards 28s and then fails. I do like this one for the short, especially back into this spot here above the 27s, going to 28s. So we'll see what happens here in nano nuclear energy. There's the spike there. The spread spreading out pretty wide there. So that's one thing that I'll keep a note with this one. The spread is pretty wide. All right, let's take a look at that other one. Q's coming down fast here, guys. I just want to note that. SNGX. Not coming back just yet, guys. I'm keeping an eye on SNGX. It hasn't come back above the 6 here, but man, that was a quick flush from 7. All right, taking a look now in the 70s here. So going to go ahead and try to get a little bit of a starter here and then look to add above the 28. So the really small starter, going to look to try to go ahead and add on this here. All right, guys. So just took a little starter there, the smallest amount just to start getting a start at the 2780s. Really want to add towards 28s and above. Next layer is about 2860s. So the spread could go wide there. And then I'm looking for the takedown in NNE. Looking in the comments, guys, what are you guys taking a look at today? Smash the like out there, traders. You guys know where you're at. Bring the A game. We got the rest covered here. Let's keep taking a look here. NVIDIA mentioned. Jemiah. All right. Palantir looking nice. Yeah, Palantir is definitely looking nice. Tesla fan out there. Casa. Good to see you. Some new faces in the chat. Keep it going, team. Let me know what you're seeing out there. Took Dell. Okay. Went short on SNGX and Zap. Green, baby. Take that money and run, baby. Google got up there to the 192s. Looking around seam to see what other ones are making a nice little trade there. Zap, that one's down. It's actually up. It's at 14s. We'll see what happens on there. Looking around to see what else can make a move here. TEM is one that I want to keep a watch on. 35 is looking well right now. It's holding in, but it's also kind of trading pretty slow there. Nice rejection on NNE from that kind of 28 level. I'm just looking for one more pop into that 28 to really add to this. You guys can see it's not looking bad, but the spread is what's keeping me on the ad right now. It's 2760s by 2780s. Needed to pop into the kind of the 28 on the bid side. All right, a stock like this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to spread out here, guys. So if I want 100 shares, I'm going to spread out some limits here to try to give myself the advantage towards 28. 28, 2830s, 2860. So you see how the spread is right there. And now I'm starting to get some fills here, guys. So there you guys have it. Starting to get some fills here on NNE. Going to take a shot on this one. Next layer up from here is 2960 and 2940 area. So looking to go ahead and get some sizing in here. Pretty wide. So I'm going a little bit wider here. 2870s. So I'm putting it up on the offer side, the 2870s versus the 2860s here to try to give myself one more fill here. Average right now for me is 28 with 65. So I can risk about more than $1 with that. So let's see if I can get 80 and then risk about $1 with that. Zap on the halt down. We'll see what happens. First day in the pool. Quick 160 on Mara. Needed to start green. Eric, get after it, my friend. Mara down to 1950s. Looking at the hut. Oh, man. Hut. Oh, please come back, man. Please come back. That's how it does it to you sometimes, guys. Hut is definitely one that maybe this is a swing trade short. But the only problem with that is that you don't know what Bitcoin does overnight. That's the hard part there. All right, let's keep going, guys. Let's see what other ones are out there we can get into. NVIDIA, big push up there, guys. That's actually looking strong on the day. TSM is one that maybe it can recover and try to get that uplift. Maybe Micron get a nice little lift today. There you go. That's actually not looking too bad. What about AVGO? Did that do the split yet? Still hasn't done the split. Just looking into it. Intel pulling back here towards 3450. So glad I kind of took my money and ran on that. Let's go back to NNE here. Taking a look at it, it is trying to get a little bit of a spike on me. So I'm going to look for this to kind of come crashing right back down. This is the prior support acting as resistance around this 2855. All right, no fills up there in the 2860 area. So I'm going to look to try to get that. Just got to wait for it here. Looking at the bid and the spread is about 30 cents here. So got to be a little bit careful and just let this trade work. We'll see what happens if I do get a fill there. 28.79s. Now just looking around to see what else is making a trade there. SNGX not doing much there, guys. It's just going sideways. Could just keep fading all day here. We'll see what happens on this one. 550s now starting to come down. That pop to 7 was probably definitely the play there. IVP, we were looking at this one yesterday. Not doing too well today. ANVS Ooh, that thing went halt on the downside, and the spread was wide on that thing. What a danger type of stock, man. That stock is very difficult, and it just has a tendency first day red, and then from there comes right back down. So for me, this looks like more short opportunities now. 15 rejection was an interesting one right now, and we'll look to see if it comes back through the 1373s. Q's right back up there, so it doesn't look too bad on that. Tem trying to hold this 35. Just looking at this one to see if it's going to make a run to 37 today. And E still on the battle with that one. We'll see what happens there. Just going to keep watching it, but to tell you the truth, I'm going to set a stop here and then just look elsewhere because it's taking too much of my time. A lot of times what you'll get is something that a lot of traders call it, right? It's opportunity costs, right? This is starting to take too much of my time here, essentially. All right, guys, just got to give myself enough room here, but got to be careful, right? The stock could take off here through the 29s. And if that goes through the 29s, I want to start getting out. So right there, I have 29.40s right now for the stop. I still have an ad at like 28.90s. So right below that 29, I'm looking to get one more ad and then back down, but we'll see what happens on that. All right, let's keep going, guys. Let's look elsewhere. Let's go try to find a nice play on the day. RVMD. Smaller name getting a nice little lift there to $43. This stock is hot right now, guys. Let's take a look there. Nice little move there to 44s. Don't know this one, but RVMD. Biotech getting a nice day two move. Helen of Troy down to 61. QURE got a lift there towards the 6. Now pulling back, not looking too strong there. ANBS back up there towards the 15. We'll look to see if it comes right back down, or does it take the next up move through the 16. It did halt down just recently. All right, ANBS got you yesterday. Anyone else having internet issues? Not right now, Wisdom. I'll let you know if I do see some, though. Zap trying to recover here back towards the 12. We'll look to see if it takes the next layer. Tesla, what's up with that? 256, guys. 256 there. Can Ford keep going off of that? Lucid, will that keep going? That's pulling back. Nikola, what happened with Nikola? It's already back down. Oh, yeah, this looks like a fade here. It could fade right back to the 1050 spot there. Doesn't look too bad there for the trade. Let's see if I'm fast enough to grab this here. All right, so 1 up, 1 down, 2 up, 3 down. Let's see if I can just get here and just get kind of the 95s or 90s on the bid. Then I could get short right off the layer to the left-hand side. Layer to the left is the 1119. So this one was already rejecting the 12s earlier. Could start really giving it up and coming right back down. Resistance is right above it. That's one thing to note on the hourly. Right around here, you're still shorting in about the middle. That's not the best place for me to short, but the cut down through the 1040s could be a move back down through 10. So you're talking about what, maybe a 60 cents, 70 cents upside. Let's see if we can get one more pop here towards 11. Then I can get short off that 1119. Doesn't look too bad there, Nikola. NNE still kind of just moving around there. Could get me out there. Nothing going on it right now, but still keeping a close eye on it. There's the 29s on the offer. Could get filled here, and then you got to continue to watch it. See if it comes right back down. Still got the stop placed there towards the 29.40s. Snow, interesting. Snow down to 140.38. We'll look to see if it catches a dip. Shop, nice move to 667.50s, but now pulling back. Amazon trying to recover that 200. It keeps failing there. I don't know, there's just a big seller or what. SNGX trying to come back off of that $6. Still looking for a move back towards 650, 660s, and then looking to see if it fails there. Here comes the attempt, it looks like. We'll see if we get that move. Nikola back down there towards the 1070s. So might not get my entry on Nikola. It could just fade off of here. And that tells me to look for maybe potentially Tesla finally fading down. A lot of resistance right above it towards the 260s. It's been trying to get in this 253 and really get going, but it fails here often. All right, guys, going back here towards NNE. We'll see what happens on this one. Now time to take my shot here on this one to see what happens. Looking at the spread, trying to get up and try to get one more ad here at the top of the spread. See if I can get 80s on the bid. Right now I got 28.85 out there. Remember, this one had the offering. That's another big reason why I'm coming after it also. There's SGNX. SNGX, sorry about that. SNGX, back up towards the 650s. This would be the layer for me to kind of get short. I'm going to try to get a little bit of a starter here and then get short on it. All right, just got short a little bit there. 50 shares only, though, just to give myself the ability, if this spikes, I'm still out. There's the spike, guys. I'm trying to get out right there. Boom, just got out the 730s. Wow, that was a quick one there. That's why I came in small. That's why I came in small, man. Boy, oh boy, did that kind of rip up there. There's a trader there. Look at that, guys. 43 on the hit there. Glad I was small. I mean, 100 shares still would have been like 80. So that's still in my range. But still, that was a quick move there. 756 and going towards a halt. Got to be quick, man. Got to be getting out when the getting's good. Look at this SNGX. I was looking for the fade off of that 650 trend line. And when it broke it, it was a fast move there. We'll see if SNGX continues to go. Google pulling back there. That's an interesting one out the gates there. Just went up there to the 192s. Now back towards the 191. We'll look to see if it gets the bounce. Apple overall kind of struggling today. Qs are struggling here. That's what I see. All right, let's keep going, guys. It is what it is. I'll keep shaking it. I'll keep looking for other trades. There's Nikola right back down. So the trade that we were looking at, right, where it was short off this VWAP, back down towards the low. There it is, already into play. I missed it, but hey, maybe someone out there was able to nail it. Mitch, that's why I don't trade the pump and dump stocks. Yeah, Noli. Trust me, a little part of me would avoid all those on, like, if I was trading by myself, I'd probably avoid those, but I kind of got to trade these here. I know that a lot of people are looking for those big change percentage names, and that's a part of the game, right? So we'll see what happens there. QRE struggling at the $6, now starting to come down. We'll see what happens on that one. Zap struggling at the $12, but this one made a move yesterday after struggling back to the upside. We'll see if it starts to come down here. ANVS up there back towards 1630. So there you guys see it. It just kind of shaking all around. Went down, back up there. NNE starting to come back down, but not giving me that third fill there. So that's one thing to note. Trying to see what happens here with the spread. See if it's going to start coming right back down. That's just something to note there. There's 28.29s now. So at least it is starting to work. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cancel that ad. Keep my stop where it is at the 29.30s. Looking for this to start working its way back down. If it goes through the low, that's a 129 trade. So doesn't look too bad right now. Let's see if this actually wants to come right back towards the lows and take it out. All right, the Qs is something that I want to take a look at. 499 seems to be an important spot, right? It's trying to make them run to 500. It's trying to load up. We'll see what happens. AMD back down. So happy I took the profits on that as it starts to come right back down. Palantir is one that I'm keeping a close eye. Qs are struggling a little bit today. We'll see what happens. Tesla up there to 256. So, hey, Don't get in front of that Tesla wagon just yet. Definitely looks strong. Jemiah with a big breakout today. Jemiah. Interesting to see the breakout there in Jemiah, but nice little breakout there at 1045 and continuing. Pretty strong move. All right, looking around to see what other ones are making a move. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at some of the bigger names, right? Some of the ones that are trading in the costs. Cost is going up, guys, and fast there. Back towards 12. Holy moly. This stock moves fast there, guys. It's back up there towards the 1170s. We'll look to see if it takes the next step up. But, man, big move there. GLW, okay, 44 stock. Corning Inc., nice little push there. We're looking for some pullbacks to 44s. SMCI holding it off the 920s. NVIDIA showing up there. What a move there. Micron not looking too bad. See what happens on that one. 134.50. All right, let's keep going, team. What else is out there, guys? Smash the like. A lot of you guys tuning in. Let's see what stocks we can get today. Micron definitely one of the top trades there in the tech names. Looking to see if there's some other ones that are standing out to me. ARM is up a decent amount there. Skyworks doesn't look too bad there. If I take a look at the overall stocks, I see utilities in the green, basic materials. So let's go taking a look to see what happened with gold. GLD did a pullback, now trying to recover that. AU trying to recover a little bit there. And what's up with maybe silver? Silver is up a good amount there. MAG, AG, one that I've been taking a look at. That's trying to hold the 650 pullback. We'll see if it takes the next step up there. I'm looking to see what's up with coal. That's down. So I'm looking here to see what's up for the week here. And especially, let's go to the daily. Agricultural inputs. Copper. Building material stocks. Okay. I don't trade these often, but they do have a tendency of moving together. That's one thing to note. Trek is one that's actually having a really good day there. Building material stock. Metals and minerals. And copper up. NEM, maybe gold play. It's holding in that 44, but could pull back through that. That's the hard part there. It's really early on NEM. Cost doing well there, guys. Up there to 68, almost 12 now. ANBS up there to 1639s. Could break through that high and keep going there. Will ZAP make another move? Now starting to get up there towards the 13s. Can this break towards the upside and continue to push? Zappy zap. Cost pulling back a little bit off of that 1180 area. Here comes the cues for that 500 attempt here, guys. I feel like it's trying to get up there. So with that being said, with the cues trying to make that big move, Amazon's the move for me through 200. That makes sense, at least for the time being, for bigger traders to just maybe try to get this through. So today, 15-minute, nice little pullback. If I look at the hourly, I see that holding well. So now I wanted to hold kind of this 1950 area on pullbacks. Now getting through that 20 spot is going to be vital. Let's see if we can actually get that move and take the next move up there through the 225s and watch this keep running. So at this point, we've made this attempt. We've had this kind of one up, one down, two up, two down. Could pull back all the way towards that kind of 199.38. So I'm looking for a nice little pullback towards 199.70 here. And then the next run coming in. Let's see if we can get a dip into this spot right here. Then looking to go ahead and try to play it here right below the VWAP, right? We've talked about VWAP bullseye. I'm going to look for right below VWAP on this. There's the 200 coming into play. Might need to step up there if I get it, because it went back here towards the 1977. Just didn't get into the lower 70. Right now, I'm trying to wait for that 200. I can see the wall kind of setting up there. There's definitely traders watching this for like kind of a scalp type of play. We'll see what happens on Amazon today. Shop is another one to watch off of that, right? I've been taking a look at that. Shop is on the pullback. We'll look to see if this gets back up there. And NE now starting to come down. I can add to this if this starts to really break, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give it room and just let it work. Amazon trying to break that. Can't break the 200 just yet. Microsoft is also another one that I'd keep on the watch. Apple's been really hot there, now trying to recover the 228. AMD could recover back as we're seeing the Qs trying to make this move up here. Let's see what's up at the top of the Qs. Tesla, Micron, CEG, some utility action there. Dash making a little bit of a move today. Airbnb is an interesting one. It has a gap that it's trying to fill to the left. You can see it here. Gap fill towards 156 seems to make sense on Airbnb. It's pulled back here towards this VWAP around the 154.50. Let's see if it takes 156 today. Not a bad one to kind of keep an eye out on Airbnb. 154 seems to make sense there. There's Amazon going for the move there. Now I'm looking for the pullback as buyers probably bought right there at the 200. Pull back towards the 199.70s, and I'm all over Amazon. I'm going to try to put a bigger size out on this. See if I can get it to come back, but I don't want to jump up off the 200 as I want to look for a nice little clean wipe down move, and then all of a sudden it comes back. Trying to go ahead and put out some orders here. Putting out some ladder for the pullback here on the Amazon. Qs got up there, kind of pulled back. Let's see if they kind of reload and then make the move to 500. That's definitely something to watch. Dell being mentioned in the chat. There you go. Dell starting to move there. Big gap to fill on Dell too. So not a bad one to watch there, Noli. I know you've been watching it too. Left too much on the table, was too scared to take Snow and Dell. Hey, we'll see what happens on that. See if Dell can pull back to the 148 level. For me, that's kind of the level to join in now. This 148 pullback. I'll send an alert. I'll let you guys know if I see it back there. You let me know what's up out there, Noli. Amazon now starting to pull back there. Now looking for this to kind of pull back into my spot here. Kind of get some fills back down and then look for the real launch. We'll see if I get it. Speaking of launches, I watched SpaceX yesterday. That was pretty fun watching that launch. SNGX reopened. It's up there towards 8, man. That thing's been a big, strong move there. Intel straight down out the gates, guys. So glad I took the money and ran in that trade. NNE now starting to go in my favor, guys. So we'll see what happens with this one. Was down in this one. Now I wanted to start to see this just start to wipe out. So with that being said, I'm moving my stop away, but actually I'm going to just cancel my stop for the time being. So look, and I'm going to cancel the target profit too. I'm just looking for this to start just tanking on me. And that's going to be the look here. Fade off the VWAP, come back down, hit that 26 and really start to break down. So the thing about this one though is the spread's a little wide. So I got to be careful with this one. But the big thing is the offering that came out at 23. So I could see it coming back towards that 23. All right, we'll see if we get that next move down towards the 26. Nikola holding in those 1050s, could just keep floating down today. Corning up there to the 4470s. Jemiah was hot up there to the 1050s. Zap rejecting that move to the upside, now starting to take the hit. Will Tesla take the hit? Nope, not right now. Q's holding in there. Amazon, still no pullback off of that. Got above the 200. Definitely seeing a lot of kind of bid support there. Might just not be able to get Amazon for the 200 break today. And there she goes, guys. There she goes. No fail there for me on Amazon. And there's the 200, 225s. This could have been a scalp opportunity off of that. Did not get it. That's the way I was looking at it, for more of a scalp opportunity. And there's the kind of push. I'd probably be selling into the 250 spot. That's just the way that I look at it. But hey, we'll see what happens. Google, can you find support? Keep making your move. Looking at the hourly right now, the hourly makes sense on this pullback as you get a nice little pullback into this spot, but the pullback could come back down towards 191.30s first. So I'm going to look for that move a little bit later in the day, looking for Google to come back around. All right, guys, looking around. What are you guys seeing? I'm not seeing too much on the tape right now. Looking around to see if there's anything making a move here. Peggy. How'd Peggy do? Who faded off that $2 spot. Can't really get through that right now. EXFY. This is an interesting name. Don't know it. Software application name. Has had to push before. Resistance right around the 228s. It's pulled back here. 1, 2, 3. It's that fourth attempt off that 175. Can it get some buying to come back into this name? Don't know EXFY, but it's an interesting chart right now. 5-minute pullback. Holding well right around this kind of resistance. Could make the move back towards 225. That's only about 40 cents higher, but not a bad looking name right now. Trying to stay away from these penny names right now. I mean, I know some of them do well, but majority of them, it's a tough trade. There's Amazon pulling back now. We'll see if it gets that next lift or not and holds its 200 pullback. What do you think about different kind of candles, Bullseye? I mean, you can look at so many different bars. Are probably my favorite. If I really wanted to trade off of like levels where you guys couldn't see like the chart, right? Like where it didn't matter to me, be more trading the bars. Bars are interesting to me. I think that helps with a lot of the kind of seeing the shake and trying to buy off the support and resistance kind of action. So I can show you that in just a little while. We'll take a look at that action. There's Amazon holding a 200 pullback. Now we'll look to see if it makes the next lift there. Apple up there to 228, looking to see if this kind of goes back to the upside. Google trying to hold the 192. Will the Qs get to 500? It's rejecting it right now. Quick sweep to the downside. Tells me to watch out there, guys. Watch out. You could see some quick sweeps right back down. Tesla's struggling here, guys. I've been looking at seeing Tesla maybe start doing the daily pullback now. Couple attempts to try to get through this 256. I'm going to step up to the plate, maybe looking to see if the Qs can really start dropping here. Is this a trap? We'll find out, guys. Remember, it is extended. And who do we have talking right now? Jerome Powell. Jerome Powell. Yes, Powell is talking right now. So there's the Qs starting to break here. I'm going to start looking for some shorts, man. All right, so I'm going to go really quickly into Tesla here. It's dropping like a tank here. All right, guys, just grab their 254.49s. Want to add to this on pullbacks, but need this to start working its back towards 256. If I want to get some ads, 255, 50s. So for right now, I just took a little bit, 30 shares, looking for this to come back here towards the 9 EMA, 255, 40s. So 255, 40s is going to be where I can actually like look for another ad. I'm going to go ahead and just start setting up some ads here, guys. Let's do it in, I'll do it in 10 shares because it's Tesla. That's easily how you get wrecked. So I'm starting to layer in here, put some layers out there. All right, guys, have some layers out there for shorts. Looking to go ahead and get some fill here on pushes back here. So as it pushes back, I'll look to try to get some fills back. First fill's 255 40s. Already got a little starter there short. So let's see what happens here. And I got to go and look to see what's going on in of course, Jerome Powell's speech there. All right, looking around to see what else is making a move, man. Al's testifying right now, guys. So you guys can see it here. I'm going to go ahead and pull it up here on the screen here for you guys. I don't mind kind of pulling it up there. Let's look at the mini player here. Want to go ahead and try to get you guys the video so you guys can see it, right? All right, guys, here you have it in the bottom corner. Should I bring in some of the audio? You guys throw up a one if you guys want to listen to the speech while it's going on right now. Let me know, guys. I can go ahead and make this a little bit so that you guys can listen to it. Right now, you guys can see it's definitely affecting the market. All right, guys. Mara not giving me any signs which way it wants to go. Okay. Throw up a one if you guys want me to put Jerome Powell on so you can hear him. Or the two, you're like, no, I don't really care about him. It's fine. Have a good one, Wisdom. When you don't got good internet, it might be best time to just get the heck out of here. All right, guys, starting to get Tesla to go in my favor here. Looking for a nice little pop here to add, but I'm going to add a little bit more right now, guys. I got 50 shares now. 50 shares. Get back to Jerome. They're just trying to grill him right now. He's talking about all the negatives. All right. Let's see what happens here. Is that Tesla starting to fill me on some of the moves back up here? Start getting some fills and up towards 254.90s. Here we go, guys. Gonna look to get maybe one more fill here at 256.40s. There you go. One more fill there. Will Tesla go through the high? That's where I have my last ad right now. 257 is my last ad there. 257 just hit there, guys. 257.16. It's now just going to continue to see what happens here. But now I'm looking for the downturn, and I got to just establish risk here. I'm going to risk about 200 on this move. That's 257.80s. So just giving myself a little bit of room. Of course, Tesla could make the move up there through that. Just got to continue to watch it, guys. Oh, thank you, Jerome Powell. Thank you. Joe Biden broke this economy. Oh, man. Anyone looking at going long on Micron? Micron's not a bad looking trade today. That's doing well right now, guys. Tesla moving strong here, guys. Could get me out at the 258, that's for sure. It's up there. Micron's looking good today, guys. NVIDIA was one that it was trading with. So NVIDIA and Micron, I'd be taking a look at those. Those are leading the queues right now. You can take a look here. What's leading the queues, right? That's a big way to look at it. Siri, NVIDIA showing up there. So keep your eyes on that. TTD. Look how the queues reversed right back up to the 500. It looked like it wanted to break. Went to 500, just tapped it. Let's see if we claim that 500. That's going to be an important outlook. Zap starting to come down there. That actually looks interesting for me. This does starts to break down. This could come all the way right back down, guys. Little part of me thinking about a swing trade on Zap to the downside, but the risk would have to be about $2 towards like the 14. Talking about a lot of inflation action out there. All right, guys, I got about 80 shares of Tesla, 255.38. Definitely not probably where I don't like being in the middle. And right now I'm towards actually the low end. So that's not the best look. So what I'm going to do is when I get back to my entry, back towards 255.38, if I get back there, I'm going to look to cut at least half of this and I could add that back on bounces. Am I going to teach the boys how to trade? Without a doubt, man. They're going to be buying stock early. I think 10 to 20% gains per day is like this is how you make a million and 10K. Yeah. I mean, honestly, you don't have to make 40, 50% gains daily. You just have to kind of understand what compound kind of gains will get you, right? Really, to tell you the truth, even 10% a day is a monster day. All right, looking around, guys. Okay, can you go to Jerome? All these guys do is just want to talk, man. Holy moly. I still haven't even seen Jerome. All they do is just talk, man. It's like, can you go to Jerome? There's Tesla trying to push their 250. What's the high there? 257.86. This guy's really talking about cookouts. Come on, guys. I actually went to the Senate House and was dealing with these guys, and I can tell you right now, man, holy moly, these guys are shows. uh, they love Trump. I mean, they clearly are clearly is trying to speak about that right now. But the only thing is, what the hell are you guys talking about? All right, guys, SNGX still struggling in the $8 spot here. Seeing Zap struggle at the 12 and cost slowing down at the 12.50. So if you're looking for your fast movers out there, cost is definitely one of those up there to the 12.50s. We'll look to see if it keeps going here. Get back to Jerome. So much talking, man. QURE struggling, trying to get back up there towards 6, but keeps struggling up here. Q's rejecting that 500 run just yet, but still always make the run. Tesla looking to stop me out here. It's pushing, guys. It's really close to stopping me out. Getting ready to get out of Tesla here. Got to be careful with the breakout above the 258 spot here. That's the Q's going to 500 also. That would help Micron, NVIDIA, those types of trades. Amazon. Can it hold the 200? See. Tesla going to maybe take a big hit in Tesla right now. It's breaking the 258. I'm literally getting close to getting out right now. Might give up some money to the dragon today. $258.12, $258.15s. This is the area that I'm really watching right now, 258.16s. What's going to happen here on the offer? Are they going to take that 258.16s? Or is 258.16 going to be the resistance? All right, and that rejection there, rejection, and now it's going to attempt it again. And that's going to be the spot. Watch. Yeah, even 3% better a day, Noli, could be 30 times your original fund. Here's that attempt back towards the 15s, fails again there. That down towards the 1145. There we go, back to 257 at least. I want to see 258 even come back here. It's been trying to get through that level and just make another run. So you just got to continue to watch that. Q's still fighting that 500 breakout. Good Lord. Oh, now he gets to speak. Look, Jerome's alive. Oh man! All right, let's put this on at least loud here so you guys can hear it a little bit. Yeah, I got you guys on the audio for it right now. All right, there you guys have it. You guys should be able to hear it. Let me know if it's too loud or you're hearing anything else.
These developments, the risks
showing you
to
guys
achieving
Jerome
our
now
employment
speaking.
and inflation goals are coming into better balance. I will review the current economic situation before turning to monetary policy. Recent indicators suggest that the U.S. economy continues to expand at a solid pace.
All right, guys, taking my shot in Tesla.
Gross domestic product growth appears to have moderated
take
in
a
the
shot
first half
here,
of this
guys.
year, following impressive strength in the second half of last year. Private domestic demand remains robust, however, with slower but still solid increases in consumer spending. We have also seen moderate growth in capital spending and a pickup in residential investment so far this year. Improving supply
what happens
conditions
today,
have
guys.
supported
Definitely the battle's
resilient
on out
demand
there.
and the strong performance of the U.S. economy over the past year. In the labor market, a broad set of indicators suggests that conditions have returned to about where they stood on the eve of the pandemic. Strong, but not overheated. The unemployment rate has moved higher, but was still low. Was still at a low level of 4.1% in June. Payroll gains averaged 222,000 per month in the first half of the year.
See how the overall market's
Strong job
reacting.
creation over the past couple of
See
years
the Q's starting to
has
come
been
down a little
accompanied
bit
by
here.
an increase in the supply of workers.
There's some down
reflecting
action there.
increases in labor force participation among
I'll help.
individuals aged 25 to 54, so-called workers in their prime working years, and a strong pace of immigration. As a result, the jobs to workers gap is well down from its peak and now stands just a bit above its 2019 pre-pandemic level. Nominal wage growth has eased over the past year.
He's saying
strong
all
labor
good
market has
things,
helped
pretty much
narrow
telling you guys
long-standing
that they're doing their
disparities in
jobs.
employment
Right
and
now,
earnings
he's
across
patting his back.
demographic groups.
He's like, yep, I'm
Inflation
Jerome
has
Powell.
eased notably over the
I've
past
done it
couple
all.
of years, but
I've
remains
done it all.
above the Federal Open Market Committee's longer run goal of 2%. Total
Longer
personal
run
consumption
goal
expenditures
of 2%.
prices
They used to say
rose
sustained
2.6% over the 12
Now they're
months
saying
ending in
longer
May.
run goal
Core
of
PCE
2%.
prices, which exclude the volatile food
Longer,
and energy categories,
essentially.
also increased 2.6%. After a lack of progress toward our 2% inflation objective in the early part of this year, the most recent monthly readings have
Papa
shown
Pow, baby.
modest further progress. Longer-term inflation expectations appear to remain well anchored as reflected in a broad range of surveys of households, businesses, and forecasters, as well as measures from financial markets. Our monetary policy actions are guided by our dual mandate to promote maximum employment and stable prices for the American
All right,
people.
trying to get one more ad
In
here.
support
Just
of
got
these
another
goals, the
ad
committee
there on
has
Tesla.
maintained
Just got to
the
keep
target
watching
range
it,
for the
guys. I'm
federal
going to take
funds
a
rate
big shot on
at
Tesla today.
5.25 to
Just got to be smart with it. Keep
July.
working it here. Need to see the
After having
cues
tightened the
continue to
stance of
break.
monetary policy
I want to see a
significantly
big
over
bar
the
down to
previous year and a half.
498.50s. That's what's
We've
going to
also
be the breakdown.
continued to reduce our securities holdings.
Comes down towards this
At our May meeting, we
498.50s.
decided
Really
to
starts
slow the
breaking
pace of
all the
balance sheet
action
runoff
today.
starting in
That's
June,
the turnaround to the
consistent with the
downside.
plans
If
released
it holds
previously.
right here on this
A restrictive
499,
monetary
you
policy
can
stance
easily
is
come
helping
back
to
to
bring demand
500.
and supply
So
conditions
let's see what
into better
happens here.
balance and to put downward pressure on inflation. The committee has stated that we do not expect it will be appropriate to reduce the target range for the federal funds rate until we have gained greater confidence that inflation is moving sustainably toward 2%. Incoming data for the first quarter of this year did not support such greater confidence. The most recent inflation readings, however, have shown some modest further progress, and more good data would strengthen
There's
our
the
confidence
cues going to
that inflation is
498.
moving
Let's see if it takes
sustainably toward
98.50.
2%. We continue to make decisions meeting by meeting. We know that reducing policy restraint too soon or too much could stall or even reverse the progress that we've seen on inflation. At the same time, in light of the progress we've made both in
See if this goes through
lowering
that
inflation and in
498.50s.
cooling
You
the
see it
labor
went
market
right
over
to
the past 2 years,
498.51.
elevated
Big level to watch
inflation
there.
is not the only
Look at
risk we
Tesla's coming
face.
down here close towards
Reducing
my
policy
entry.
restraint too
At
late or
around
too little
256
could
level, I'll
unduly
probably
weaken
take 50
economic
off
activity and employment.
just to give myself an
In
ability. If
considering
it
adjustments to the
bounces, I
target
can
range
add
for the
these
federal
shares
funds
back.
rate, the committee will continue its practice of carefully assessing incoming data and their implications for the
All right,
evolving
right
outlook,
around here,
the
I'm
balance
looking
of
for one
risks,
more little tick
and the
down here to
appropriate
go ahead and
path
take a
of
little bit
monetary
more, take some of that off.
Congress has entrusted the Federal Reserve
exposure.
with operational independence that is needed to take a
56
longer-term
20s.
perspective
Boom.
in the pursuit of our dual
56. I
mandate
just
of
lowered the
maximum employment
exposure
and
to
stable
50
prices.
shares. This is
We
important.
remain
for
committed
me.
to bringing
On
inflation
bounces,
back down to
I
our
can add
2%
this
goal
back.
and to keeping
That's the
longer-term
important thing for
inflation
me.
expectations well anchored. Restoring price stability is essential
Now
to
I'm essentially
achieving
in the
maximum
green
employment
here,
and
and I
stable
could
prices
add 20
over the long
shares.
run.
I could
Our
take another
success in
20
delivering
shares
on those
off
goals
since I'm in the
matters to
green.
all Americans.
All right, taking that 20
I'll
shares
conclude
off,
by
just making
emphasizing
sure
that we
that I'm
understand that our
managing my
actions
risk
affect
here,
communities,
guys.
families, and
So now I
businesses
can set
across
up
the
for
country.
shorts on
Everything we do
bounces.
is in service to our
So I can
public mission.
reset up for the
Thank you.
kind of the
I look
ladder
forward to your
back up.
questions.
So 257.20s is going to be an important spot for bounces to kind of get some
Thank you
more
very
shares
much,
short there.
Mr.
So
Chairman.
257.20s,
Former President,
257.60s,
Trump has
moves like that,
indicated that,
bounces
he would
back. I
propose
want to get short some more.
a
So now I'm
substantial
doing the
increase
ladder
in
back to the
tariffs between 10
upside. And if it just
60%,
fades, I'll keep the
And-
original shares.
by doing thus, eliminate the federal income tax. First, on the question of what would be the impact of tariff increases on prices, consumers, and the economy?
See
Thank
Tesla
you,
back into the red there
Senator
for
Reed.
me. If I had
So
the
I'm going to
big share size,
say
I'd
that
be feeling the pressure right now. But instead,
we go very
I'm
far
looking
out
to
of
add.
our way not to comment on campaign type information. We just don't do that. We also don't comment on trade
You can
policy.
see it holding the 5
specific
minute,
and important
9
jobs
minute
when we trade
EMA that can come easily back towards
Well, I'm glad I
257,
allowed
like
you to establish
80s.
that principle up front, Mr. Chairman. But let me opine a bit. 10% increases in tariffs. is gonna
Sometimes
have
you
an
can
effect
take
on
it all
prices
out, but
at
what
the
I
shop
like to
aisle.
do there is
It's
just
gonna
take
increase
out
it, but it'll
majority
be
of
passed
it,
on.
right? So where like if it goes
60%
against me now,
tariff
it's only
increases
30
are
shares.
significant. And in fact, I've been told that to replace the income tax, you would have to raise tariffs across the board 70% to make up for the loss of the income tax, which would, I think, create huge
Cost
economic
struggling
problems.
here at the
I
12s,
respect
guys.
your
This could start crashing
impartiality
down.
and your
Looks
neutrality,
interesting
but,
for like kind of a scalp short
numbers
off of
don't
that
seem
12,
to
but
add up
man,
to
on these
anything that
smaller
would help
names,
the
every time I
country.
tried to scalp that short, hasn't
Let me
worked out for
switch
me.
to
So I'm
something
not going to
else that
take it,
might
but I
be
just
more
wanted to
within
mention the
your,
trade.
line
Zap
of
looks interesting
response.
too for it to really start to
You
fall
said in
here.
your opening statement that
ANVS
labor
is now
markets
back down to
could be in a better balance.
1570s and struggling
And
at the
that's
VWAP.
one of the
We'll see
key
what happens there.
factors to
NNE
judge
going into the green
whether
there,
interest
back
rates can be
again.
raised.
This is the one that I'll probably step up also
must say,
as
I'm
it starts to
concerned a bit
break
that
down. I do
we're
want to
not
go ahead and add on
on a
this and just really look
very
for the breakdown
faster
here.
track to decreasing.
I'm near 28,
interest
so I'm going to
rates
go
from
probably
the
add
Fed.
another 20 shares on
And
this to
because
see if
of
it can really
the
break
better
down.
balance you cite. Could you comment on that, Mr. Chairman?
Sure. So
All right, there's the first cut down
The
on
most recent
NNE.
labor
I'm just
market
looking
data
for the
do
bid to go
send,
back to
to your point, a pretty
2770s.
clear signal that labor market conditions have cooled considerably compared to where they were 2 years ago. This is no longer an overheated economy. This is an economy, as I mentioned in my opening remarks, that is more or less back
All right,
by
back
most
to
measures
Tesla.
to where it was before the pandemic. And that was a strong labor market. but it
Tesla's
was not an
struggling
overheated
now
labor
a little
market.
bit.
So I think the upshot of that really is that we're well aware that we now face two-sided risks and have for some time. But now, the labor market appears to be fully back in
256.20s is
balance.
going to be an important
We
level
know
for it to just
that
keep
if we
start
move
to
too
reject.
quickly, we risk unnecessarily hampering economic activity and possibly interfering
right,
with
Tesla's
the
starting to
ongoing
drop here.
expansion. We know that if we move too slowly, that we may undo the good we've done. Well, actually, it's the other way. If we loosen policy too late or too little, we could hurt economic activity. If we loosen policy too much or too soon, then we could undermine the progress on inflation.
Only risking
we're very much
23 now, guys. So
balancing
if
those
it
two
starts going
risks,
in
and
my
that's
favor,
really the essence of what we're thinking
what I'll
about
do is I'll
these days.
start to look for
But the
ads on this
direction
bounce.
seems to go
But I'm just going to look to see if it flushes right here. Have the risk right above here towards like this 256.70s.
So I
But now
think if
I'm
you
gonna
look
look
at
to see it
the
just start
last
taking a
summary of
big
economic
beating.
projections,
Q's
I guess I would say it this
rejecting
way.
the 498.50s is a good level to
Doesn't seem
watch.
likely that the next
and then
policy move would be a
continuing
rate
towards
increase.
the
We don't take things
498s.
like that off the table, but that's not
SQQQs
seem
can
the
also be a way
likely
to play
direction.
this,
The likely
right? It's
direction
trying to
does
break
seem
through the
to be,
738s. A lot
as
of
we
people
make
don't
more
expect
progress on
downside
inflation
action.
and as the labor
So
market
that
remains
could
strong,
definitely
we
shake
begin to
some
loosen
things.
policy at
Look
the
at
right
this
moment.
SOX S. Really nice lift there. 50 cents. Starting to
Just
see some
2 weeks ago, the
semiconductors
Supreme
take some
Court
hit.
handed down 2
So
decisions
SMH
that
could be
impact
one that I could
every
short
federal
off of this.
regulatory agency,
Just to kind of
including the Federal
mention an
Reserve.
ETF that I could go short. That could be
They
one way to play this.
overturned the Chevron
And there's
case,
so many
which,
plays, right, that you guys can
had
be watching.
eliminated
How's
judicial
NVIDIA moving now?
deference to agency decision making for many,
Quick
many
rejection off
decades.
that
And they also
134.
dramatically
AMD
extended the statute of
Take
limitations.
down
of
to
the Administrative
175.
Procedure
Glad
Act.
I took the money and ran
What
there.
is your judgment? Is the cumulative effect of these decisions on the Federal
I think
Reserve?
I might just leave the remainder
More
on
broadly,
here
what
for
does it mean
Tesla
to
to
the
see if it
economy
really
if
wants to work
virtually
here.
any regulatory decision the Fed makes can be second guessed by a judge?
Now down to
position
254,
are
so
you
that's
now?
actually looking really
So
good
we're-
here.
Now
Now we're
we're
starting
as
to
an
get in the green
institution
there for Tesla. I'm
very
glad I took
focused
off some of the
on,
risk because it was just too much
reading
risk
the
at
actual letter
one
and
point
intent of
there.
the law and following it carefully. This is a strong institutional value that we have. Those are
That's what I'd love
brand
to
new
see,
decisions
Noli.
that
Take
just
that
came
money.
down, and we're really in the process of just studying some. I don't have anything for you on them, but we will of course follow
All right, guys,
the
it's
law.
about
as the
10:30
Supreme
in a
Court,
second here. I'm going to take
what
Jerome Powell
the
down,
Supreme
and then we
Court
can
has
take a
read,
look at
because
some
that's
other
their
action.
Well,
Talk
thank
a
you.
little bit about
I
understanding
concur with,
slippage
compliance with the law,
and
but
how do we get around these
when you
market
do your
makers, right? We'll
analysis,
smash the
and
like,
if it
guys.
is
We'll talk about that coming up.
detrimental to your ability to regulate the banking industry in the United States, I think you have an obligation to make that public. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Reed. Senator Scott from South Carolina is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chair Powell, we've heard a steady stream of commentary that there will be changes to Basel III.
SNGX trying to hold the 8 recovery there, guys. So if you guys are
Some
looking
reports
for
say it
penny
could be
stocks,
finalized as soon as
that's
August.
the penny stock moving right now that I
Others
see.
say you were circulating
Trying to
a
recover
term
8
sheet
here.
for a revised proposal. Through
Peggy
it all,
coming
this
back
proposal
towards the
will have
$2 spot.
outsized impacts on our banking system.
And
from big
Longevron
to
up
regional
there to
to our
$3 today.
U.S.-based foreign institutions, as well as impeding access
QURE
to
starting to
credit
move
for
there.
consumers.
Will they make the move
So
to
even
6?
though you yourself have said there will be broad and material changes, I believe this
ANBS
proposal is flawed
holding the
both in
pullback.
process
Will
and
this make another
substance,
run?
and should be withdrawn. Do you agree?
Find out.
And will you commit to withdrawing the existing proposal and issuing a new proposal with a
Scott's
robust
got to
notice
go.
and comment process?
Let me update everyone on the,
Oh, man.
the status of all that. So over the past several months, we've had, in fact, Vice Chair for Supervision Barr has held a series of discussions with the other bank regulatory agencies around potential changes to the original proposal. I'm pleased to say that we've made quite a bit of progress on those and are very close to agreeing on the substance of those changes. And I can't really be specific because nothing is agreed until everything's agreed. So I won't have a lot of specifics for you today.
There's the break of
The question
$8
where
there
we're
for
continuing
SNGX.
to try to make progress is that of process. So it
Cost
is
is looking like
my
it's trying to
view,
break
it is
down.
the strongly held
But
view of
that one loves to do a
of-
quick
of
recovery.
members of the board that we do need to put a revised proposal out for comment for some period. And the reason is, when there are broad and material changes, that has been our practice.
Hey,
We don't see a
Bullseye,
reason
don't
to
forget to
deviate
give them
from that
your
practice. It seems
affiliate
to be
link, right? You can
consistent
get into
with
your
past
affiliate
practice
link
and
right
with
there on
the
Trade the
Administrative
Pool.
Procedure Act.
Let your friends
So
know
that's
that they
very
can
much
also
what we
be
think, and
trading it,
we're
right?
working through
You can find your affiliate link on the
question
left-hand
with-
side
with
of the
FDIC
dashboard.
and the
Go ahead and
OCC.
sign up.
We
That
haven't
could get
reached
you
agreement
some
on
nice
that, but
little
I'm
bonus
very
so that
hopeful
you
we
can go
will.
ahead and trade
We're
also.
prepared to move
Hey,
forward
check it out, Bullseye.
when we do reach agreement.
You're going
on that.
short on costs.
I
Ooh,
appreciate
you're a
most of your
brave man.
response there. I do want to discuss
I mean,
one
there's
aspect.
the trade's there, right?
More of Basel before we move on to another topic.
See if it
I find
starts
it
to
very
work here.
concerning with how much of this proposal, this process appears to have been done.
And
behind
you
closed
giving me that
doors.
fill there,
The
guys.
Fed
So I want to
and the
continue to watch
FDIC,
there, but set my
OCC
wrist
proposed
there
Basel III
on
endgame,
NNE to
last
understand where the risk is
Then in
for me
October,
there.
The
So
Fed began the collection of data
You keep it
to
tight
conduct
here.
a quantitative impact study on the cost of Basel III proposal.
I'm going
The
to
study,
risk
which I will
about
note
50
should have
bucks
been
here.
conducted
Yeah, about
before
50 bucks there on
any
NNE.
proposal was ever issued. Move forward to January of this year, Vice Chair Barr
54
committed to a
towards
public comment period
2860s.
once results of the study were published. We are still waiting to view the results. Keep in
For
mind,
this to
all
come
the
down
while,
towards the
we're
26.
hearing rumors that the Fed is working on revising its proposal and moving
Got an alert
towards
there. Just want to take a
updated
look
version.
which alert that
Please
was.
help me understand, how will the Fed revise or reissue a capital proposal before receiving public comments? Basically the question.
As you know, we have received extensive public comments, and we've also evaluated the quantitative impact survey that you mentioned. And
Yes.
so the idea would be when we
Got a Dell.
do reach agreement with the other
Dell
agencies
pullback.
fully, that we would publish
This actually looks interesting.
the proposed changes and also the quantitative impact survey, and also
that
the
pullback
effects
to the
that
146
QIS
area for
suggests
Dow.
that the changes would have. So we'll put all that out for comment again for a period of time, and then having had yet another round of comment, and we can then move toward finalizing. That's basically the broad strokes.
Jerome, you're not giving me anything,
I
man.
would see this moving forward.
And how long do you see that opportunity for public comments?
So it would be meaningful. I mean, it might be 60 days. We don't need
Q's
to.
trying to
It doesn't
recover
need to
the
be a long one,
498.50s,
you
but a
know,
rejection
before
of that
we do
could
that,
start
we
the
need-
leak.
There's a lot of work that needs to take place, before you actually put out the revised proposal. Quite a bit of work.
In a second, I'm
So
going
it
to
will
take my
take some
shot
time,
here in
and
Tesla, guys.
Then we would put it out, and then there would be, I'm just taking that number, 60 days of comment, and then we would get the comments back, and it would be another
Little bounce
period
here, and then
of
I'm going to
evaluating the comments.
go try to
And
hit
only
Tesla.
then would you go final. So there
Right
are
off my
a number
entry
of
right
steps
now.
here.
Yeah, thank you. Well, just final point as I'm running out of time here. I think Senator Reid made the comment about the Chevron case and the impact that it could have, certainly curtailing, from my perspective, the regulatory state. The necessity of a cost-benefit analysis on new regulations that will impact the economy, I think, is quite helpful.
Here's the Q's trying to come back here.
Pages of Basel
This
III,
is where
I
I'm
think
going to
there
look
are
for it
about
to
20
reject
pages
this
that
move right
reflected
here and
some
then
kind
come
of
right back down. The 499
analysis
is so
approach. I
important.
really hope that we see more of that going forward.
There it is. There's some rejection there. Now I'm going to start getting
Senator
short
Tester
Tesla
from
big.
Montana's recognized.
Just shorted some more Tesla. You guys see it right
Chairman,
here.
thank
Now I
you.
got
Courtesy,
60,
Chairman,
255.74.
good to see you here
Got to go ahead
today.
and just understand the
Appreciate
risk, right? So right now I'm
your
risking
work.
about
uh,
80 towards a
regardless of where I go in
257.
the state,
Can add another
Montana,
30 shares
housing
short
is a
on
big
Tesla,
issue.
but
The
need to see the
billings,
rejection of
Peter,
499 on the
Busby or
Qs.
Big Sandy, it doesn't matter. Larger towns, the medium-sized towns, the small towns, housing is a huge issue. And I think it's a huge issue all over the country, and correct me if I'm not correct in that. And I was wondering how the housing challenges fit into the overall
Do
economic
you
picture that we're seeing.
do stop limit orders?
So
no,
we-
not the.
we,
not the I don't do those
We
often.
do pay a lot
You
of
do those,
attention, and
Bullseye.
I would agree
I
with
think
you.
that's what he was asking.
We have significant housing issues in the country, and we had them before the pandemic. Certainly, the
Nice rebound for Tesla. Like how
pandemic
the
has,
5-minute close.
has created new
All right,
distortions,
Kaizen.
and
Good to see you out there, man.
monetary policy works through interest-sensitive spending. There is
Look
no
at
more
costs
interest-sensitive
go,
spending
man.
than buying a
Bullseye.
house and having a
Costs.
mortgage.
Good,
So
good
for
trade
sure,
there, man.
our tighter policy
I'm glad
is
I
having
didn't
an
short
effect
it. It probably would have gone up.
on economic activity in the housing sector.
Look at that thing. That thing cracked fast.
but
there
I would
in
also
1060s.
The best thing we
NNE
can
going
do
into favor
for
for me.
housing
Now up about 40
is
bucks
to
there.
succeed in getting
bounce back
inflation
today,
down
guys.
to 2% on a sustainable basis so that rates can come down so that the
Tesla.
housing market can get back to what was the pre-pandemic normal, which is to say still a housing
Okay,
shortage.
rejection of that
but not
499
dealing with
on the
the kinds of
Qs. That's what I want to see.
specific
Now I'm
things
going to
we're
see
dealing with
if
now.
Tesla really wants to come down. About to take the shot, guys.
I'm speaking not necessarily from a housing cost interest, and you're correct on the things you just brought up. I'm speaking more from a standpoint
There's a push
of
here.
economic growth, and that there are
There's
plenty
a push
of
on
small
Tesla, not adding
businesses,
just yet. Just
schools,
moved up my
hospitals,
stop to make sure I didn't get
Main
hit
Street
on just
businesses
the
that can't
spread
hire people,
widening.
they can't expand because
Looking
there
for this to
simply
come
is no
back down
place for
through
them.
my entry, and then I'm going to hammer
How
on
does that fit
with
into
some
your
more shares.
economic
Probably
outlook
40 shares
metrics?
more after that. Don't want to hammer it till it
Because I
just
think
goes
it's,
back through my
from
entry.
my perspective at least,
That's the
I think
Qs
it's
all
limiting the
protecting this
opportunity
move.
for expansion. It's
This
limiting the
kind of
opportunity
choppy
for
chop
entrepreneurs,
move here. You see
business
it.
startups.
You come up,
And does that
Come
fit
back down.
into the economic picture that you?
come up.
So our mandate is for stable
Looking for the
prices and
connection
maximum
right
employment.
down through the
And
498. That happened.
again, I
That's
think for
tough now. Back
for
to the
housing
499s,
supply,
you
the
can get
best thing we can
500
do is
run.
get inflation under control so that rates
gotta
can
keep
come
that in
back
mind.
down, so that we can have a more normalized
SNGX just
set of
ripping,
rates
guys.
and a more normalized
SNGX.
housing system. But I think
Look at that.
policies to increase housing
960s ripped
supply
off that
are
8.
really not so much in
Back
the
up
hands
there
of
to
the
the
Fed, they're in the hands of
980s.
legislatures,
What a move there.
state and federal.
Do you believe that if we were to put forth some housing incentives,
Zap
whatever
still
they may
struggling,
be,
but
that could have
could come back, right?
if it resulted, if those incentives
And then
resulted in
E
more
kinda holding in
affordable
there.
workforce housing on the market, that would have positive impacts on the economy?
You know, these are questions for you, but I would say this, that I'm aware that housing is in
You
short
like Mara
supply,
now at
and that,
1942, retested the 1915
for many, it's a
area,
critical
ready to
need
buy
for
if
the
it breaks
workforce.
1940s.
And so
Okay.
more of it is better, but as to where the
Take a look at
fiscal
Mara.
policy should,
I like
how
the
you should
short on
prioritize
Mara,
that's
but
not up to us.
it's just hard to go
Look,
after it here.
I want to talk about the independence of the
Hut
Fed
is
for
the
a second,
one,
because
man.
I know that you are
Team.
a strong supporter of independence.
Should have been
as am
shorting
I,
Hut today,
and,
guys.
political
This is the one that I'm
influence,
gonna
I
be a
don't
little
think
upset
helps
on.
monetary policy
No business being
in
up there in the
country,
18s.
and so
So
give
definitely,
me your
this is a
perspective
miss
at
today.
least on why the central bank independence is so critical.
That's a miss.
Thank you. I'd be glad to. So essentially all advanced economies
DE.
have adopted a policy of
Here on
central
the
banking
downside.
operational independence. And that just means that we
To
make
me,
our decisions.
XLI
We're
is
instructed to
struggling
make
and
them
industrials are
without
struggling
taking in
because of
extraneous
the rate
factors,
cut
one of which would be
situation.
politics. And the record is pretty clear that that's a good it's a
Rate
good
cuts need to
institutional
happen
arrangement that
for
serves the
that
public
XLI
well.
to come back.
And you know,
Tesla coming up here now.
we just want to
let's stop me
stress,
out here.
as we do periodically, that this is an institutional choice that we make as a country, and that as long as it's seen to serve the public well, it's a good choice. We think so.
Okay.
57 coming back here.
There's some that talk
Could
about
get me out here if
the
it just
economy of
starts to
this
spike
country
here
not
through the
being in
257.
very good shape.
254
From your
is
perspective.
my out here.
Tell me how the economy.
There
of
he
this
goes.
country is
it's
doing
pushing,
compared to
guys.
other advanced
Could get me
economies
out.
that have
I just
central
raised it up
banks.
10 cents to give myself a tiny
You know,
bit.
so I'm in lots and lots of international discussions as part of my job, and the story for the last 2 years has been
Looking
just
at
how
it right now,
exceptional
Tesla
the,
really close to stopping me
performance
out.
of the
There
US economy has
triggers.
been.
There
And
triggers, guys.
That's not a secret.
Out on
You know,
Tesla.
there
Got caught on that one, guys.
clearly the
So,
U.S. economy has performed
Not the best
very
day
well
there for me
compared
so
to
far,
sort of
guys.
our-
You see
our
it here down to about
advanced economy,
182. Still got
colleagues.
Is
NNE.
there any country in the world
There
with
on
a central
Tesla
bank,
there,
any advanced
about
economy that's
117.
performing better?
better as a central bank.
No, any economy that's just
Look
that's an
for
advanced
NNE
economy
to
that
get
has
me
a
back
central
into
bank
some of the green
that
there.
performs better than us.
None comes to mind. As I think of the majors, the answer would be no.
Okay, thank you.
All right, guys, that was just a bunch of hoo-ha. All right, guys, I'm cutting that out as I go ahead, and we're going to take a look at talking about understanding slippage and market makers, right? How we can take a better advantage on that. So important. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on there. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about that. And if you guys have any questions, throw it up in the chat. We'll talk about the market impact, right? So first, let's talk a little bit about defining slippage, right? What is slippage, right? Well, there's two actions that could happen, right? We have market orders and we have limit orders. So one of the things is, of course, is slippage can a lot of times happen on market orders because what are you telling it? Well, you're telling it that get me out at all cost, right? So like, let's say like this SNGX, right? It's up there to 1070s, making really quick moves, but this is a perfect type of stock that you could get slippage. Let's say if you hit it right there, you know, you were looking to get out at the market 1040s where the bid was, but since you hit market, the next limit was 1014 or something like that. So you might have gotten filled at 1014 instead of that 1060 because you went for the market order, right? And so limit orders are going to tell you that it needs to fill on that exact pricing. That's where limit orders really go to save you, and why a lot of traders say limit orders is the only way to go, especially when you don't get fast execution or you're trading a fast mover. So perfect example, SNGX here. If you put the limit at 1060, you probably didn't get hit on that downturn, but as the stock came back right now and hit 1060 on the high end, maybe you got that hit, right? And you got out at the 1060 versus getting your out at 1014 and then seeing the stock just come right back towards that 1060. This is where we got to be careful with these smaller names, but something that I definitely think it's important to kind of catch here so that you guys can learn. And what are the causes of slippage? Well, one of the things is large price swings, right? Like you're getting right here where it's like almost $1 inside of a 1 minute candle. That's going to definitely take some swings. And then low liquidity. As these stocks have low floats, right? Like you get on some of these where the float is just pretty wide, like even NNE, the spread is pretty wide. Why is that? Because the float is small here and it doesn't have the biggest float, and that can actually affect it in a negative way where you can get more liquidity issues, right? So here's the cues starting to come back here. So, hey, it shook that action, could go right back up to the upside. That's one thing to note. So your Micron still looking pretty decent there. Dell was one that I was looking at a little bit earlier for the 146 recovery. This one doesn't look too bad, but slippage definitely also comes in those low liquidity names. So like, let's say a COS, perfect example, also low liquidity that could go ahead and run into some problems. And how do you mitigate slippage, right? So you just want to be using the limit orders and also trading during the intraday action, because in the pre-market, that's where you get a lot more of your slippage, where you don't get fills because there's very low volume trading, right? I've been in kind of pre-market and I've been having to like just stop out. And how do I get out? I just start limiting down way below the bid. I look at the next layer on the bid. And what do we mean by that is understanding things like on the market depth, right? That's going to go ahead and show you guys where the next layer is, right? So let's say like on costs, right? So costs, there's about this big share size towards the 1086. And then right here, there's barely any volume. So if I wanted to get out 1,000 shares at 1090s, probably not going to take it out at 1090s. Probably need to go down towards that 1086 to get it out, right? And so that's one thing to note. That's one thing that I'll definitely take a look at. And I think it's important to kind of note so that you guys can start getting the advantage here in the slippage. So understanding slippage is very vital, guys, especially when you start to trade bigger and bigger sizing. As you start getting into the 1,000 shares, 2,000, 3,000 shares, pennies do matter then. But when you're trading 30 shares, pennies are probably not going to matter, right? So this is where you got to understand what I can do here and how I can get an advantage. That's why as you get bigger and bigger sizing, you got to be okay with more slippage. If you're going to be too precise, that's easily how you get wrecked, right? We'll see what happens there on cost. If it can recover back through 11 today and make the run back towards 13, doesn't mean that this one can't go, but something that I'm definitely keeping an eye out. I want you guys to learn about slippage. If anybody has a question out there, how we can get around it, definitely throw it up in the chat. All right, why would you be shorting Mara? I see it tested the support, ready to test the highs again. I come from Forex, so my sightseeing is biased by the charts. So mine is biased by a lot of things, right? Technical, story, the overall market, and the underlying asset here. The underlying asset being Bitcoin. Bitcoin going down, that's why I like Mara to the short side. Tried to keep it simple, right? But the thing is, Mara is not that easy. That's the thing. If you're looking at the intraday action, yeah, I can see the long off of this. But if I look at the daily chart, I can see an attempted breakout, then failing. And why did it fail up there? Well, a lot of that is Bitcoin struggling right now. So if Bitcoin could go back to 60,000, yeah, you're looking good on that. You're looking at it right now. It's at like kind of 57.8s. Needs to make the move to 60,000. Recovery of 60,000, and you could get these stocks to come back. Breakdown back towards 50,000, and yeah, that's a continued downside negative move there. So we'll see what happens on that one. Clean Spark has been a little bit cleaner on the down end, and you can see it's down there right off this daily support 1522s. We'll look to see if it breaks through the next layer. HUT is one that I'm just annoyed that I didn't get short today. But similar trade that I could have been short just because Bitcoin's coming down. Yesterday it didn't work out, but today, yeah, coming back down to the 16, and this one could make it down to the 15, start working its way back. Eventually I see this one going to 14 on pullbacks, but we'll see what happens there in HUT. All right, guys, that's going to do it for the slippage talk. Any other action you guys want to talk about, throw it up there. It's 10:45. And Kaizen, that's what it's about, man. I mean, the truth is that you got to understand different trading, especially coming from the Forex side. You know how sometimes story or like something catalyst wise can just change up the market. So keeping the variables in check is an important thing, and understanding how do traders overall feel about this stock. Like, let's say let's say like AMD. A lot of people are bullish AMD now because of the way the action's happening. And a lot of people were looking at it this morning for bullish action, and you're getting that pullback type of day. So always the reverse psychology sometimes even plays into play. That's the contrarian look, and that sometimes works. It really does. QURE, I'm taking a look to see if this is going to break 6, a smaller name. We'll see if it breaks up there through the 6. EXFY. Was looking to see if this would ever get off the floor. It's trying to turn things around here. Has been really sleepy, but the volume just died out on this thing. We'll see if some buying comes back into this, but just one that I'm keeping a watch on here towards the end of the day. Willing to take one more shot, but this one has 155 big bid there, support. That could come down to that 155 first and then make the move. And if it does that, it breaks the move, guys. NEM giving me an alert, guys. So seeing this pull back here, this is a gold play. How's gold doing today? Ooh, look at gold with the pullback. We'll see if this actually gets some pullback buy towards the end of the day. That's just something that I'm watching out there. NNE not doing anything and not going anywhere. That's where it gets difficult for me on NNE, because in my eyes, we could have got this breakdown already. So going to go tighten the stop there on NNE, risking about $54 right now. I'm going to tighten it down to about just clear 50. Look to this gets in my favor, but right now the ticking time bomb is going on this, and a little part of me is like, go look elsewhere, Mitch, because this is not working out, at least for the time being. I'll keep it tighter. I'm going to go down towards like $33 of risk. So very small risk. I'm still in the green right now. Could just get off the trade. That's also another option for me, and look to see if I find another one. Joby trying to work its way back. Will Archer work its way back? That's really what I'm looking at. That's not looking good right now, but needs a lot of buying to come in here. Looking around to see what is going to make the move, guys. Cost is down to 1063. Not looking the best on that one, but SNGX just continuing to push off there, guys. So that one, what a move there. ANVS starting to fail now, back down to 1460s. We'll see if this gets some love, but it's definitely starting to struggle a little bit here. But off the hourly support, so if there's any level that it could maybe recover from, this is close to that, right? So I'll keep watch on ANVS to see if it comes back up and makes a move to 16, 18, or does it come right back down? All right, looking around, the Qs is trying to recover back to 499 and maybe make that run to 500 right on the day. That's one thing that you can be looking at in the Qs to see if they come back up there towards that 500. Of course, Jerome is still speaking, so Jerome could still say something negative and kind of affect this, but we'll see what happens there. SNGX starting to struggle in towards the 12s, but could still take the 12s. It had 1, 2, 3. This is the 4th attempt to go through that 12 spot here. We'll see if we get through that. If not, the pullback could be back down wicked, back towards 750s. We'll see what happens on this SNGX. And this stock is definitely a known runner that has run in the past and has very few two-day moves, right? Very few two-day moves. So be careful out there, traders. Little part of me is like, do we go short SNGX again? But man, that's a tough trade. That's for sure. I got caught on this earlier with 50 shares. Looking at it, it looks interesting for me. Now would be the kind of the level that I'd look at here is it starts to approach this kind of, so a trend line attempted break back through, then fails. So maybe 1077s and then comes back down through 11s. That's kind of the look here. Back through 12s, and you can just keep squeezing up. And it's holding that 9 EMA. So this is where the 9 EMA buyers come into play. That light blue line right towards the 11-12. Clean spark still down there. Not looking good there. Hood bouncing back on the day. Not one that I like right now. Coin, will this one keep coming down? Not much I'm seeing, guys. I'm about to wrap it up, guys. It's kind of gotten slow and dull on me, guys. We'll see what else is out there. Focus in on your favorites. Learn how they move. Familiarize how the asset reacts to news. And, of course, the USD is king. So there's always stagnant days. Hey, like to mention, and maybe you need to come on here and teach me a little bit on the Forex side, right? So I need to go ahead and take a look at it, right? I've been looking at the fivers and thinking about doing some futures action. So smash the like if you guys like that action. Of course, you guys can check out the fivers. But hey, this is just things that I'm thinking about. Maybe you guys can teach me some stuff, right? That's what it's about. Smash the like, guys. All right, guys, we're going to start wrapping it up in just a second here. It's been a tough day for today. Definitely the Fed talk shaking things up. We'll see what happens if that can continue to move. Tesla robotic day, still paying attention to that. That's going to be August 8th. We're about a month away from that. Tesla's been doing great. Could keep going. We'll see what happens there. SNGX definitely got the break there, back down, went to the 1060s. But not back down all the way. Just kind of cut down here and could recover through that 11. We'll see what happens. I'm not taking a trade on it right now, guys. I'm just kind of take it easy, man. It has not been a great day for me. It's just kind of one of those days where I feel like, you know, just not seeing it much. And look at Tesla. It's still struggling there. Later in the day, this could break down, but the Qs are just chopping around, and that's where it gets difficult. The rejection of 499 makes it even more difficult here. So SOXS is another one, maybe for the scalping action on the day to see the market actually come down. SMH on the short side of things through the 275. We'll see what happens there. Google's been trying to make the move, has been struggling this morning. Amazon been trying to make that 200 move, made it a couple of times and then failed. So we'll see what happens there as it fails again for the 200 here. Apple overall trying to recover there. AMD still coming down there as it's pulling back. Nvidia has been hot, but not also staying hot. It just seems to me like this is kind of that day where you're just getting what? Indecision. We opened at 498.87. We're at 498.60s. So just 20 cents off from the open and a lot of indecision in the market today. Slow day to start the pool. Yeah, it definitely is a slow day to start the pool, Eric. It's a tough day for sure. NNE starting to come down there. So at least that's not the worst one to maybe take a little bit of that shot, right? And so that's the only one that I see that I could maybe take my shot in, right? So we'll see what happens on that. Zap back up a little bit. So this one's actually looking interesting. If it starts to fade, I'd have to risk off the 12 here. It could just come back down to the 1050s, but this has been a slow drip, and it did this yesterday, and then it ripped. So that's where you got to be a little bit careful there on the Zap. NNE now showing that 2750s. Let's see if it fades towards the 27. Just looking to see if that starts to go in my favor at least, guys. Going to start to wrap it up, guys. It's 10:58. Small green day for Peaceful Verse. Took one to the gut, made it back a little bit. Great advice, Mitch. Keep it up again. Yeah, man. And that's what it's all about too. I liked how you said made back a little. Didn't make it all back, but don't need to make it all back. Just a little bit. Cut it back down. Focus in. take it easy, right? That's what it's all about, man. Because the truth is, on a day where you're just not seeing it well, that's not the day to press the gas pedal. The day where things are just working well, where what you're seeing is making sense, that's the day where we need to hit the gas pedal. What defines a lot of day traders is they know when to hit the brake pedal and when to hit the gas pedal. Which one are you on today? And you can't hit them both. You got to figure out, am I on gas pedal or brake pedal today? Today, I should be on brake pedal. Brake, slowing it down. Because it's not that I'm losing big right now, but I don't want to lose big. And that's easily how you start pushing on a day like today. And then you lose big. So I'm down 182. We can really quickly just review the trades today. It was SNGX, a short that just didn't work out. Really quick trade, not going in my favor. And mainly the Tesla short, which essentially where I got out, it's below right now. But Tesla is just kind of chopping around right now, back and forth on the up end, and holding the 9 EMA tells me that, yeah, you got to be careful with that, Mitch. But look at the 1 minute. And have you cut the 9 EMA multiple times? This could start letting go if the Qs let go, right? And so I'm going to continue to watch that today to see what happens in the Qs. If the Qs start to go, look for strong names that were strong to start getting weak again. Like let's say Qualcomm going right back down. We'll see what happens here. SMCI, how's that doing today? Starting to struggle a little bit as it starts to come back. We'll see what happens there. Definitely starting to get a little bit of some pullback action. SNGX back towards that 11, right? And so that's kind of what I was a little bit careful of on the 1 minute kind of recovery of the 9. Now you recovered that. Now it could make the run to 12. We'll see what happens there. 1130s. Can it make that move there to 12s? Not a bad looking trade there. There it goes, the 1150s. We'll look to see if it makes a move to 12. Gas is floored with the foot on the clutch. I like it, Eric. Let's pull off on that and just throttle that bad boy. Let's go. Look at SNGX with that pop and then failing that 11. Now could really start to break down. This is a hard one, but looks to me like a short there, guys. Should I take it one more time here? That's a hard one there. 1080s would be the entry here for me right now and a little pop back. But man, you could just come back in a hurry on this one. You got to be careful with this one. Let's try it, guys. Let's try the little 50 shares trade before we go. Hit the like button for Money Mitch stepping up to the plate on this one. Just looking for 1070s, 1080s here on the bid. And I'll take the shot, guys. So 1070s showed up for a second there, man. That was quick. Looking for the 1070s to show up again here. Not showing up there. It's showing up the 1060s, so I'd have to step up to the 60s. I don't want to. I want to go up to the 70s or the 80s. So looking to see if I can get a little bit of a move here on the bid and offer back into the 1080, 1070 spot right here on the bid. Then I could hit the 50 shares and got to be careful because it could run really quickly here. It hit 1076 there. It looks like it's just going to fade off of that 1050s, not giving me the chance to get in here. So I got to respect myself because the move is back towards this trend line. That's 1090s real quick. I love that mention, Eric. Let's go ahead and we'll wrap it up, guys. It's 11:02. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Do want to take some more trades. Still got this NNE on. Going to continue to watch to see what happens in the overall market. Not getting the attempt here to get in on that. The Qs overall just still struggling. That 498 could still break down. I'll let you guys know what happens. Like always, keep up with me at Money Mitch TTP, right? You guys can definitely check me out. Check me out there, guys. Go ahead and give me a nice little follow. I hope you guys enjoyed the action. Money Mitch, TTP. You see it in the corner. I will see you guys back bright and early tomorrow. Let's keep getting after it. Don't forget, check out the playbook and the Sunrise Report. We're going to keep stepping up to the next level. I'm going to be bringing in some graphics, taking a step level up 2 for the show right here. Let me know. What do you want to see more of? Do you guys like the Sunrise Report? Do you guys like the playbook? What works best for you guys, right? Because at the end of the day, I do this show not just for me. I do it for you guys out there. Hit the like button. We'll see you back in the morning. Be careful out there, traders. Choppy chop market. And definitely, Jerome Powell is out there. Hit the subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Yes, you saw it light up down there on YouTube. Hit that like. I'll see you guys back in the morning. And like always, traders, be safe out there and keep the battle on.